Yeah, I probably would.
I probably
All right,
would.
ladies, be warned. Brett may puke on you.
He's not getting this offer right now. This is a scenario.
No, this is based on things that will never happen, right?
All right,
Or-
let's do it right now.
What? Let's do it right now. When I was getting a physical to play football, I think
I've never been fondled.
the RN, which obviously they check you for a hernia. And before she did, she's like, "Everything okay with your balls?" And I was like, which I think she said because it was a 14-year-old kid, but
Well, see, here's the thing. I've always heard stories about that. Why is that so funny? It's the truth. They're checking for testicular cancer.
It's so funny.
no. She wasn't doing that. She was checking me for a hernia.
Well, they're checking you for both.
Well, probably.
'Cause they're looking for lumps, right?
No, because
They're like all.
you can't. When they check for a hernia, they just
Don't they grab it? Or?
no. Have
See,
you?
I've never
I
had it
told
done.
you. Garfield and Friends from Pickle
Aw.
Fanboys.
Now, which one?
The second one, not the
Yes.
first one.
This one.
Times ahead.
Yeah, I hate that one.
one.
There are two
There's
actual
two-
songs.
there's two of
Oh,
them.
The
well,
second
that's what
one,
he sent me a picture.
Ready?
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 Two.
Two.
Party!
We're ready
To party.
We're ready.
Dun, dun,
I hope you bring lots of spaghetti.
dun, dun.
Come on in, come on down to Garfield and Friends. Come on in. It's time to party with Garfield,
Garfield
and
and
Friends. And then I think there's another
I
verse.
love how we all know that one.
I think there's another verse.
There
in it.
is. There's a little bit more to it. I have a list of movie titles that were almost called something else. Star Wars Episode 6 was almost called Revenge of the Jedi. We know this, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're nerds. Alex might not have known that.
I was like, what are you talking about? It's not Revenge of the Jedi.
No,
it's
no, no.
Return. I was like, bitch, you ain't no nerd.
Head cheese.
Head cheese?
Mm-hmm.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Alex?
I have no idea.
Yep.
Yeah!
Why,
Nice.
Why head cheese?
Because I remember there's in the Texas Chainsaw, the remake in '01, they go into that rest stop
Mm-hmm.
and there's a pig's head
Yep.
in the display case, and head cheese is a boiled. You boil
How
a
did you
pig's
make
head.
that freaking connection, Brett?
That is a photographic memory. at
Oh
work.
my god.
What is the McGangbang?
McDonald's McGangbang. Simply order a McDouble and a McChicken. The McChicken sandwich is placed directly inside the juicy McDouble, buns and all. So if a normal McDouble doesn't quite fill you up, take the chance by combining a McChicken McDouble from McDonald's secret menu.
So then, do you just order the two different pieces, or do you?
You
Order
say,
a
I want the
McGangbang?
surf and turf, and they'll give you the two.
And they'll give you the two and you put it together. I'm not into the fish thing, but I think I would do the McGangbang.
Yeah.
That does not sound fun at all. You know what, honey? Let's try a McGangbang.
Are you bringing that to the table, Alex? Are we having
We can
this
set it on the
discussion?
table and do it right here on the podcast. Try a McGangbang on the podcast.
Wow. Wow.
So Die Hard started a
I
trend.
hate Speed 2.
Why?
That's pretty
It's
bad.
horrible.
It's kind of like it's more of a watch it because it's laughably bad.
Yes.
There are a few parts that I thought Sandra Bullock was pretty funny.
She's a great actress, but she sucks in that movie.
She cuts open the door with the chainsaw and then she's like revving it. Can you guys get out?
If you back up with the saw,
What?
if you back up with the saw, we'll give it a try.
It's so bad.
It is very bad writing. It is very bad.
Bad.
But I always thought of it as more of an action type than a funny movie, and it turns out this, like, as an adult watching it, it's a terrible
It's
film.
horrible.
That was a great
That's great.
quote by
Yeah.
you, John. I just got a Charlie horse in my thigh.
Oh shoot!
I
You
thought that
okay?
You were gonna fart or
Do
something.
you need something?
Hey, where's your Charlie
Just give
horse?
me time. It's on the bottom of this thigh.
Hey, you can do this. Put your foot out. Put your
I
foot
can't.
out. Do it.
No.
Put your
Oh shoot!
Ah! Put it out. Now flex your foot up, like your toes towards the ceiling. It looks like you're trying to take a shit,
What do you need to
Well, I
do?
don't want it to look like
What do you
that.
want to do?
I'm trying to put my foot over there. Help me. My back's to the camera.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're okay.
It's
You're okay.
ridiculous.
You're okay.
Let's do some
We're doing some friggin' Christmas trivia.
What? Welcome to
What?
the PTO Unlimited podcast. My name is Josh.
Alex.
This is episode 379. Here, scoot a little to your right. You're a little off frame. I told you to scoot in. Now I'm like, nah. Oh, no. Okay. Well,
You said to my right, which is towards you.
to the left, to the left.
No.
No. Screen left.
Are you saying go that way?
No, you're fine.
Okay.
You're fine. Yeah. This is the episode of the year, guys. Literally.
The episode of the year or the last episode?
No. This is the episode of the year.
Oh.
Like
oh.
the wrap up. This
Okay.
is the 2024 wrap up year. A lot to mention as far as personal things going on. This has been one of the craziest years ever. First of all, we haven't been back in over 2 weeks, so yeah, we are here in the studio live on YouTube. So if you guys are joining us live, we appreciate you. You guys are the real MVP. If you guys are listening to us on our audio platforms, make sure you guys are hitting the 5 stars, reviewing us, giving us extra boosts on the Spotify's and the Apple store, and I don't know where else you guys get your podcasts these days. There's so many things out there. People can find us everywhere. But we appreciate those that have listened to us this year. It has been a roller coaster. Mentally, physically, it's been challenging. It's been an amazing year, and we're going to get into that later on in the show. But before we do, you know what we got to do. On this day.
On this day.
On this day, guys, on this day. So at time of recording, on this day, 23 years ago, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle was released on the GameCube. So I say battle. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, Sonic Adventure 2 came out in a lot different time. Yes, it did. The GameCube had its own version. This was a complete conversion of Sonic Adventure 2 from the Dreamcast with additional features exclusive to the GameCube. So, which were improved visuals, new 2-player battle games such as kart racing, hunting, and more cow karate stuff. The ability to grow your cow with chow, which
Cow?
is chow, C-H-A-O. C-H-A-O. I mean, I hate the name already. Chow? Is that what do you need assistance?
I just want it to be in my face.
Excuse me?
Shut up.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
better.
All right. Yeah. Through your Game Boy Advance and on your GameCube. So it was a pretty fun game. I played it. That was one of the games that I actually owned on the GameCube that wasn't a Nintendo exclusive. I didn't own a lot of non-Nintendo exclusives for the GameCube, I'd say, for a long time. I don't know. Did you ever play any Sonic games?
Only in elementary school at my boyfriend's house.
Okay, so what did you play? Do you know?
I don't know.
You don't know. Did you play as Tails?
No.
Did you play as Knuckles?
No, I played as Sonic.
That's it?
Mm-hmm. It was literally only like 2 times.
I know, but was there a 2-player component to it?
No.
Okay, then it might have just been the first one because
It might have been.
Tails didn't come in until
It was on the Sega.
till later. Yeah.
I know that. It was the one and only time I ever
played.
played the Sega.
I don't remember if the first one was 2-player. I just remember playing Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic 2. I don't remember the first one.
I can tell you
very
which
much.
boyfriend, and I can tell you where the house is, and I can tell you what it looked like me playing, but I can't tell you anything else.
It's okay. You don't need to go into depth.
Nope.
It's fine. But you have played Sonic before.
Yes, I have.
The movie, I want to go see it.
Yeah, I
Sonic
do
3?
too. Both the first 2 movies were good.
Yeah.
So, and I'm excited to see Jim Carrey again because I was like, because he had like retired from acting, and I'm like, well, if he's gonna do that, and we're gonna have another Sonic, I can't see anybody else doing Dr. Robotnik. So,
You're right. I don't know.
I was like, I don't know how well that's gonna go, but he came back out of retirement to do this movie
because he needed money. He spent.
That's what he said, but I think it's just more like he's just
I don't know. If
coming
that's
up
true.
with something.
Maybe he's just trying to be funny at
Yeah,
this point.
who knows? I mean, it's Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey
so.
is a character of himself at this point. You really don't know.
I
what
still
you're
think
gonna
he's
get.
got plenty of years left, but it's all about like it's a job. So
It really is. It really is. We do need to get into our weekly update. We have had a busy couple of weeks. Let's see here. Last time you guys heard from us, was it before Thanksgiving? No, it was in December. It was in December. We traveled to South Dakota.
yes, because I think the last episode we had
Was right before our
I
trip.
had just gotten diagnosed with pneumonia.
It was right before our trip.
Yeah, it was right before our trip, and we were trying to decide when we were going to do the show.
We did it the Thursday before.
I want to say
Yeah.
Wednesday or Thursday. Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I think it was Thursday because I said, yeah, I don't know. But yeah,
okay.
where we left off health wise was I was on the gray line of, am I getting better? Am I getting worse? Do I need to go to the ER again? Because I had lobular pneumonia, which is like the more severe type of pneumonia where it only encapsulates one area of your lungs.
Right.
So anyway, and it ended up being like bacterial. It was not something I could spread to other people apparently. So that part was good, but the bad part was
really weird.
I was like on the hour, like ready to go for all of my meds and my inhaler. Like it was bad.
It was not good.
I had not had pneumonia since I was like 18. So, and when I had it when I was 18, I don't think it was the pneumonia that really got me because I had pneumonia and mono at the same time, and it was the mono I think that really killed me.
Yeah,
for the most part. Yeah, like I could not leave my bed. But I mean, the combination of the two was horrible.
It was pretty bad.
But yeah, but hey, update on it. I'm clear. I feel great. I think I
sound better.
Oh yeah, I sound better. Other than the fact that like I'm congested, but I feel like that's just because it's so freaking dry.
Yeah, I don't get it.
And that's just how it's gonna be. It's winter time.
Yeah.
And then
winter is coming. Or is
as
here
I'm
now.
getting better, what happens to you?
I get the stomach flu while we're in South Dakota.
I like literally took my last dose of my antibiotic for my pneumonia, and then Josh gets the stomach flu.
That wrecked me for a longer time than expected, and it floored everybody else that got it. So the person that brought it, the culprit, was one of my sisters. She had it, and she's like on the mend. She didn't think she was going to spread it. 3 days later, almost.
It was like Saturday,
2.5.
Sunday, Monday.
Yeah,
like 2.5 days.
She showed up Saturday night.
Yeah, with us.
And Tuesday.
It was Tuesday. Like actually, it was like Monday night. Our youngest boy nephew was complaining about like wasn't feeling good, but he has issues with vomiting a lot because he gets headaches. So we weren't I guess like too concerned about it. But apparently he was like vomiting like on the hour.
A little more.
It was like a lot. And all of a sudden his mom was like, yeah, I don't think it's his normal sickness. I think he actually might be sick. So, and this is right before we go to bed. So he ends up going to bed. He didn't have a fever or anything. He goes to bed. We hear the next morning that he was up like he threw up
several
times, like 7 times throughout the night. And then, but by the time he woke up in the morning, he apparently felt much better.
Right.
Josh, on the other hand, was like hours behind that and woke up at like what 6 a.m.
That's
something
not
like
when it
that.
started.
Is when it started?
No.
When?
No, it didn't start until almost the afternoon.
Was it? Because I thought you said you just didn't feel good when you woke up.
Yeah, I was just a little like like on the whatever side. I just didn't feel that.
I feel like everybody was about 12 hours apart from each other. Yeah. It was like bam, bam, bam. And it was just like hitting everybody like a domino.
My brother went down the exact same time.
Your brother sounded like he suffered quite a bit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah.
He was kissing the toilet seat for a while.
My brother-in-law, he was
the same way.
Same night.
Yep. It affected like all the boys. It was weird because none of the girls, besides like your sister, like your sister that thought she brought it, she's not even 100% sure if she had it.
We're not certain if she even had it.
It just might have been the kids that had it.
Right.
So we weren't really sure. So
exactly.
But either way, basically out of like 17 people, like half of the people got it.
Yeah. It was pretty rough.
Luckily, I didn't get it. I was like, oh, please. Oh, please. I was literally just counting the days. I was like, all right, it's been 2 days. Is it my turn?
It was pretty scary for a minute there.
But we weren't going anywhere for an entire week, so I was like, well, and we're not doing anything. Like we were
quarantined.
We were just there
Literally
to like
quarantined
lay
in that
down
house.
and relax and
Yeah.
eat the entire time anyway. So I'm like, well, you know what better place to
I
get
went on a
sick was
purge,
with
actually.
your mom and dad.
I went on like a lethal no food in my stomach for a good almost 48
Yeah,
hours.
so you like lost weight going to your parents, and I gained almost 5 pounds. Like,
yeah.
but
sorry.
that's what happens. But hey, I've lost it all.
I don't
already.
feel like I feel like I gained my weight back now, so it's kind of crazy. But
it
yeah,
was fun. We went
very
and saw
nice.
your family for like the longest amount of time we've seen them in years.
Yeah.
Years with lots of S's.
Yes.
We were there for 8 days.
Yep.
Drive there was gorgeous. It was we left Indiana with it being like 20 degrees and super freaking cold.
Crazy
And we
how
got
that works.
to South Dakota and it was 60.
Oh, goodness.
And it was 60 degrees for a couple days and then dropped to -9.
Pretty much.
It was
yeah.
like, all right, you're here. Here's the cold weather. Don't you remember me? And then we hung out we had a lot of niece and nephew time. Got to see our newest addition to the family.
That was very nice.
That was so nice. Got to have some baby time. That was probably the highlight, was just like seeing everybody together, because it's very difficult to get all of the family, the immediate family together. And we had everybody together like probably 3 or 4 times. So that was really good. Played
it really was a
games.
highlight. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so nice. I especially just love just hanging out with your siblings and their kids, like, and then Pixel.
Pixel had
loves
so much fun.
loves
So
kids.
good with them.
And he was the most bestest
I couldn't
boy
believe
in
it.
the whole world.
I couldn't believe how good he was.
We left him with people, like strangers, basically to him for
a few hours.
a couple
And he did
times,
so
and he
good.
did so well. I was so proud of him.
We praised him, and then he pooped.
Right. The last day.
The very last
day.
hour
he
we
had
were
one
there.
accident, but I think he knew we were leaving, and
He had to leave his mark.
and he had to yeah, he had to leave a part of himself behind.
The drive back.
The drive back.
I got to show this.
Yeah.
These are not photoshopped. These are real images.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why that zoomed in so much.
What do you mean?
The display is
No.
zoomed in a little bit.
Mm-mm.
No?
No, it's fine.
Looks weird
But
to me.
we basically, so the night before these pictures were taken, so in South Dakota, we went to a city called Sioux Falls, and to go into town, basically into the city, to have dinner and see a play and things like that. And it was so bad driving home that we couldn't see, like, basically so what we're showing on the screen right here is like extremely dense fog. And like, I'm talking like the densest fog I have ever seen in my life. And in South Dakota the night before, it was, you could not, because, you know, we're out in the middle of out in the middle of nowhere in South Dakota. There's no traffic lights, there's no highway lights or anything. You were just on farmland, so there is nothing but like the light of the moon, and there wasn't even, you couldn't even see that, it was so dense. And putting your brights on during that kind of situation is an absolute no-no, because it makes it worse.
Yeah.
So we have the lights of our car, and that's it. And we can see, you know, like the lines when you're driving? We could see like a line in front of us.
It was so
Like there was
creepy.
zero visibility at like all times. And it was an hour and a half drive back to his parents' house, and it took a lot longer than that. And it was an extremely frustrating, anxiety induced, in the dark. You're basically it looks like you were flying a car in the dark.
Yeah.
Is what it looked like.
Yep.
Like, because you were in clouds. You couldn't see to your right, your left, in front of you, behind you. It looked like you were driving in clouds. It was really scary. It looked like Silent Hill. So
not in a good way.
Not in a good way. So on top of that, it was also freezing rain.
Yep.
Freezing rain. Like, I mean, you turn a little bit and the car is gonna go bye-bye. The next morning, we go to leave to get on the road to come back to Indiana. And the sidewalks and everything is just coated in ice. And the fog is kind of lifted.
I was not.
And, like,
ugh.
I think around the area was kind of lifted, but maybe 30 minutes into the trip, it went right back to the type of fog that we experienced, where we had
It was bad that we saw other vehicles in the ditch.
We did. Yeah, we
I don't
saw
know how recent those
semis
were.
flipped over, like all that kind of stuff. And we had less than a quarter of a mile visibility for 13 hours.
For the majority. I would say Chicago was the only clear.
That was the weird part. It was like the closer, like right around like Chicago, like the actual city area. It was like, oh, the fog's gone. But within like 10, 15 minutes of driving, as soon as we got past Chicago, the fog got even worse.
There was no such thing as clear. We didn't see. There's a thing that Alex and I always point out whenever we get into the city is when we can
is
see
a billboard?
The towers. The what?
Oh,
no, the towers.
Oh, the towers. Oh yeah. Okay.
The towers that we see in our city, whenever we can get into, you can see like 20 radio towers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you couldn't see those.
Couldn't see them.
No. You could not see to turn onto a street until you were actually at the light.
Right.
It was that bad. Like, we drove right past the mall, and you should be able to see the mall. And the mall was, like, in a bunch of clouds. Like, you couldn't see it. And it did not get better until it was, like, the next afternoon.
Right.
But it was so incredibly weird because it was from sun up to sun down, complete for 1,000 miles.
The entire state of Iowa.
The Midwest was just a big cloud. Like, it's just completely unnatural and was really weird and sketchy. Just throwing that out there. But I've never in my life, and this was like our friends saw it because I put it on Snapchat like the entire way, like every hour, and I'm like, and we're still in Silent Hill. Like, it just was never ending.
Never, it wouldn't stop. Yeah,
it was ridiculous. But we got home. That was pretty much the end of it. We got home before midnight, so that was the good part of it.
Yep.
We're both better and not sick, at least not like really sick.
And then I had to go into work, into the office.
I felt so bad for you
on Tuesday. So
like, we do this 13-hour trip and all this driving in South Dakota.
Yeah.
And then you get home and rest for 24 hours.
To get from my parents' house to the city that we would visit periodically.
That was a drive
to
your work.
To my office.
I know.
It's insane.
Yeah, it was.
How long that drive actually is. It's not okay anymore. Like, it
at least you got to stay at a hotel this time.
Yes.
I know you passed out, but
I'm always so tired when I get to the hotel.
Well, yeah, because
every
it's
time.
like your body, it just
my body just
knows it's a hotel and it's time to go night-night.
It's time to sleep. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. I know. Yes. So that's how I was just like, I am going to zonk the F out. I did. It was nice. We did a work, a group. How do I put this?
Activity.
It's a group activity. Yeah. We did some. What was the word I said? It was
alcohol painting.
Alcohol painting, which I think is ink. Dropping ink.
It's not
on ceramic.
It's not what everybody thinks it is when you say alcohol painting, which is
No,
like you're
but I
painting
had
and
a
you're drinking
headache
alcohol.
the smell.
That's no. It's
The
like
smell
it's
was
alcohol
issue.
in the paint.
I had a headache.
I'm sure
that night. I had to actually.
Do you still have
take some.
color on your fingers? It looks like it's most of the way off. Yeah, it's like most of the way off. You can't really tell.
Not really. It was. Yeah. Well, they're on my. Oh no, you can't even tell on camera.
No.
Right there.
Maybe a little.
Just
bit.
looks like a little scuff. It's weird. Anyways, so yeah, we did that, and then we went out to eat for dinner that night, and we went to an Asian fusion restaurant again, a different one, but I should have had something a little different as opposed to just having orange chicken, but it is what it is. It's really good.
You can't go bad with orange chicken.
No, I just didn't know. Well, I did explain to them. I said, well, I am getting off of my stomach flu and everything. I told them that, so they're like, okay, well. And I had an alcoholic beverage. I had what's called a sex in the driveway.
So there's sex on the beach? What's sex in the driveway?
Sex in the driveway has. I thought I wrote it down, but I didn't, or take a photo of it. But it has a fruity rum. It has a schnapps of some kind. I think it's peach. Has Sprite, something blue.
It's probably the thing I can't have.
It came back blue, and I was like with a cherry in it. I was like, oh, this is very fruity.
Because I believe Sex on the Beach is like an orange and like an orangey red color. Like I think it's got red, like it's got grenadine in it.
Yeah. So all of us had a drink. Sherry, my boss, wasn't gonna get one, but we all had one. She's like, all right, fine,
Okay,
you guys convinced me.
I love your boss.
She's awesome. She's very fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, we hung out for the evening a little bit at the restaurant, and then I went back to the hotel and just passed out. Oh my gosh, I was so tired. But yeah, and then now we're here.
Now we're here.
Now we are here.
We completed our week. You came home last night, or not last? No, not last night. You came home on Wednesday.
Exactly. It's been 2. Has
it's
it been
like
2 days?
Yes, last.
Good
yeah,
gosh.
I know.
Yesterday was
this
so
week went
rough.
by so fast because last night I was walking to the couch and I was like, "Is tomorrow Friday?" It hit me. Like I was like, I feel like we still had a couple days left in the week.
My
And I'm
thought
like,
was the same exact.
tomorrow's
I was
Friday.
like, this week is over.
It's already over. I was like, there's so much to do. We have a lot to do this weekend. Oh shit.
Yeah.
My brain just snapped into like, uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Anyways, so back to our itinerary for the show.
Yeah.
Kat, are you coming up here? You coming up here You're gonna take a visit on the show? Come on. You're allowed.
You're allowed. Go in. There you
There's a platform for
go.
you.
Oh, I don't know how many
Snickers.
times Snickers is actually on the show.
Voluntarily, anyway.
Anybody watching YouTube right now, this is our cat Snickers that we've had since 2007. Well, she's 17 and a half.
She'll be 18 in May.
Yeah, she'll be 18 in May.
But she's visiting us
She's
on the show.
She's on the show. She's purring. She loves her daddy very much.
Yep. She missed me.
I got her for her daddy.
She missed me.
Yes. Our cats missed us so much. Excuse
Drink
me.
some water. Yeah, they really did miss us.
It's so dry up here.
My cat, Nymeria, will not leave me alone at night.
Nymeria won't leave me alone.
It's angering me.
And Nymeria hates me. She wouldn't leave my lap or like while I was working or when we were watching the game, and I'm like, I can't move. I can't move.
Right. We got to move into playing and watching. We've been doing a little bit of this and that, and the other thing with a whole bunch of TV shows, movies, trailers, and stuff. We got to talk about them. We did a lot of holiday watching when we were in South Dakota. We did watch some holiday movies, get us
Nothing
caught
new.
up. No.
No, we just watched
But we did find a top 30 list where there's like 2 movies we need to watch.
Yeah, I wrote those down on my phone.
I don't know if those are movie club worthy or just watch them.
It's probably just watch them.
Yeah.
I did write down some movie club movies, though, when I was going through the top movies of 2024. And I'm like, we still haven't seen this. We still haven't seen this. Oh, my God, we still haven't seen this.
I kind of want to go see either Gladiator or Sonic this weekend. I'm not sure which one.
I don't know if we'll have time.
So we can Sunday after the
Sunday
Vikings
afternoon,
game?
after the Vikings game, I have 2 projects to work on.
Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah, and they're going to take hours. So.
Dang.
Yeah, and
Well,
I
good,
don't have
because
any
I have
other
a project myself I wanted to do that I didn't want you to.
Be around for?
Yes.
Sweet, because I'm not going to be here.
Oh.
It works out. Cool. We got that planned without even trying to plan it. All right,
We'll
let's
have to
move
discuss
on.
this later.
Meet me in the room
Meet me in the room after the show.
After this. I'll pencil you in.
So glad I'm penciled in on
Well,
my...
do you want to schedule a Teams meeting, or what do you want to
No, I don't actually. I don't want
to be near my
I don't want
computer.
to hear a Teams bloop at all.
Bloop.
Anyways, so the movies we watched, I wrote some of them down. We watched the Home Alone 1 and 2. We'll just say that the Macaulay Culkin ones, Jingle All the Way, and the Muppets Christmas Carol. Those are the ones that we
Which are like my top favorites, I think. Like a lot of those are in my top.
Any Christmas Carol movie, I would say, okay, so the Jim Carrey one, I think I like a little bit more.
Are you talking about the Grinch?
No, I'm talking about the Jim Carrey Christmas Carol. That
one.
The only reason I like it more is because I like the way they portray the ghost of Christmas future.
Yeah.
better.
Mm.
Because in the Muppets one, I don't like how goofy they look.
That they're
Their head looks misshapen with their body.
it's a Muppet.
I know. They shouldn't have made that one a Muppet. They should have done something else with that. A little more like what they did with the Ghost of Christmas Past. So
Okay.
that's what I'm just saying. Like, I'm a little more into it because it is scary. I should say. But
Yeah.
we'll have to watch that.
I mean, I'll agree
sometime.
with that. That it's scarier.
Yeah. But yeah, anyways, so The Floor, we're not fully caught up on it. We've been watching it.
We still have
though,
one more episode.
and we passed out to the
Well,
last
actually,
episode.
technically, we have 2 more episodes. I'm
well,
almost positive the episode that we were watching was the one that we watched already.
Really?
I'm the more I think about it, the more I'm like, I'm pretty sure we were just tired when we watched it. We didn't remember certain things, but the more and more I watched it, I'm like, she's gonna win. He's gonna. Yep. All right. I'm pretty sure that we've already watched this one.
Are you sure you didn't wake up to another part?
No. I fell asleep to the end of that one, and then when we woke up, we were watching the one that we're supposed to be watching.
It was loud. I remember waking up, we were like, oh
we
my
need to
God.
watch the semifinals and the finals.
We're so freaking wiped from our trips.
I know.
And then we watched a few movie trailers. So we watched the 28 years later trailer when it came out over last week while we were in South Dakota.
I will tell you that people need to be taking notes.
I am so looking forward to this movie.
People need to be taking notes. The way I'm so sick and tired of the entire the trailers showing the entire fucking movie or the best parts of the movie in the trailers.
We don't even know what these parts were shown.
This
There's
is like
no synchronicity.
I don't want any more trailers. If they do another trailer, it's got to be like the same thing that they already showed, and maybe like a quick clip of something else.
They used a voiceover.
Oh
that I watched it a second time, and it's just as scary. It's actually psychologically traumatizing, and it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to get your mind.
So my
racing.
brother, while you were at work, my brother, I heard him watching the trailer.
Yeah.
And I was walking up the stairs, and I heard the
what did he
1,
say?
11, 13,
Yeah.
something, and my brain went, oh no! Like I was like kind of like got weirded out.
Do you want to watch it again?
No.
No. You've only watched it
It's
once.
kind of disturbing.
It is very disturbing.
But I like it because I was like,
I think they're doing it right.
Before we
figured
out that the voiceover, which is like a poem.
It's a poem from like
1912 or 11 or something like that.
Used to mentally traumatize soldiers, I think.
No, you said it was used as like a tactic to get soldiers to break. Is what it was.
It kind of like that, where it gets your
was,
mind racing, and you start thinking about all the things that the person's telling you.
It was used as like a strategic thing in like the military.
Was used with it, or if that was added. Or
I think the music was added, but I think the reading of it, the way it's read,
and the tone
of it, and everything, like. Listening to that shit over and over, like, kind of is fucking with my head. So, but it worked.
It did.
It did.
And
but the trailer looks great, and what's his face is coming back.
Well, Cillian Murphy is not credited main, but he is on set. He's an executive producer.
But he is credited as being in the movie.
He had better be in this film.
No, he is. They confirmed that.
Okay, he's not a zombie though.
No. That the thing that we saw in the trailer,
actor.
they've already debunked that and said no, that is not him.
They credited that person.
They said that he is coming back in the film in a different, more detailed way or something like that.
It better be a little bit better than that. He is like the reason why I really enjoyed the first one. I don't know why. When I saw the first movie and then The Walking Dead came out, I was like, The Walking Dead took this from 28
right?
Days Later.
Well, I mean, it's very similar, like the way it opens.
We have to watch it again.
I know. I really want to watch it again.
Very indie.
So what happened, again, speaking of watching 28 Days Later, what happened?
Well, the thing is, they haven't had it available on streaming or digital for a very, ever.
So because of this trailer for 28 Years Later, there was a demand to get it streaming.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, fine, here you go.
Yeah, I think I put 2 on a pedestal. So I didn't like 2 as much, but I have to go back.
We have to watch them again because it's been so long, but I liked both of them.
I really am looking forward to the third one, and I cannot believe that they are splitting this one into two?
I think it's just because there's, you know what? It's movies like those.
Different
like
directors,
these,
though.
I know, but it's movies like these where when they split it into two, it's got to be good.
Huh.
It's got to be good.
Or longer, a little bit slower. Like 28 Days Later was slow.
It
28
is,
Weeks,
but
I
it
think, was
needs to be
faster.
slow.
I think Weeks was too fast. I don't think I could hone in all the stuff that was happening in 28 Weeks Later. 28 Days Later was slow. Very, very slow and methodical. It was a scary film for the time.
Mm-hmm. I remember when the trailer came out for 28 Days Later because I was I was in high school.
Yeah.
And that was back when we still had AOL.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was trying to. It was the first
that's
trailer.
That's when they put the first few minutes on.
It got leaked or something.
No, they put it out.
Oh, is that
they put like the first 3
So
minutes
I tried
out.
to download the first. It was the
that
first
was
3
the trailer
minutes.
was the opener.
Or it was like 3-minute clip of like a part in the beginning or whatever,
Yeah.
and they leaked or they released that. So I was downloading it on AOL speed, right? So I start watching it, and it is choppy as fuck, and I could barely see anything. And because I'm connected to the internet, which is connected to the phone line, I'm only like maybe 15, 20 seconds in, and somebody had picked up the phone, and I lost the entire download. And it took like an hour
That
or
happened
two.
to you with the Somewhere I Belong music video.
Yeah, I remember that. But it took like 2 hours. Like it was like a ridiculously long time to download this.
DSL, wireless, anything. This is all one cord networking.
Just to see a 3-minute movie clip.
Of a movie that you didn't know necessarily you were going to like, and it was very oddly good for... I'm surprised you liked it.
Yeah,
because it was pretty freaky. It's like rabies running through humans from monkeys.
Why do you think I liked it?
I don't know. Well, it starts off with activists trying to release monkeys, pretty much.
I know, but...
I don't remember
Which is,
28 Weeks much.
kind of like what happened a couple months ago.
Let's not talk about
Except
that.
they didn't go do it on purpose. They just accidentally forgot to lock the cages, and 50 monkeys got out.
How many have
of
they
a
caught?
testing
How many have
facility.
they caught?
I don't know. Last I checked, they had
You've
not
been
caught
up
all
to-
of them.
You've been up to speed on that. No? Okay.
I didn't, other than like a couple headlines of them catching only a not 50.
Yeah. We saw the trailer for Superman.
We did. That just came out yesterday.
What do you think?
It looks awesome.
It is going to be pretty much to a T comic book accurate.
I
Pretty
hope
much.
so.
From what we're seeing, from what people are confirming, hairstyles, acts of like the way that they act, a whole bunch of stuff happening. James Gunn better do it well, because I'm already like, I don't know who this person is. I don't know who this person is.
I know,
this
but
movie's gonna be long.
I like that though.
It's
But
kind of
I
like
don't-
it's kind of like the Suicide Squad,
The only
where you started liking characters you didn't think you were gonna actually like.
yeah, who's the actor that I like that's playing Lex Luthor? Do you remember his name? I can never freaking remember it. I'm really bad at names. I mean, everybody that listens to this podcast know this. But
his...
I love almost every
Oh,
movie he has been in.
Renfield,
But yeah,
Renfield.
he's he plays Renfield in Renfield.
Nicholas Hoult.
Yes. He's also in it's a zombie movie that I really liked. I don't remember
Warm
the name.
Bodies.
Warm Bodies, and then he also plays a character in Mad Max. Like he's like the
Yeah, he's in Mad Max Fury Road.
Yes, Fury Road.
He's one of the boys.
He's a great actor and he's cute. So
Hey. He's in Nosferatu.
no shit. Really?
We are going to watch this movie, by
So
the
it's
way.
gonna have two guys in there of my actors that I really enjoy.
Let me tell you who's in Nosferatu. You got Nicholas Hoult, Bill Skarsgård, Aaron Taylor Johnson, and Willem Dafoe.
It's gonna be a great movie. Ooh, I get chill. The fact that you just named those people, like I got a chill down my back, and I'm like, this is gonna be a great
Apparently,
movie.
Nosferatu's getting great reviews. So that's probably going to be a movie we watch here
Yeah, I'm excited.
over the Christmas break.
I'm excited.
Me
Anyway,
too.
so Spider-Man, Superman, the other superhero. So Superman, it looks good.
Craven's tanking. Anyways.
Yeah, Kraven's tanking. No, not gonna see
Superman.
that one. Superman looks great.
I'm looking forward to it. I really am. I think that there should be a little bit of a rundown of everything that's in the trailer. I know that there's some videos out there that do that. I'm gonna need to know who some of these characters are for real. Unless James Gunn does a very good job introducing them very well. He did the Suicide Squad well. I'm looking forward to this one, so hopefully it's done well.
Brian says that we need to watch Shadow of the Vampire before Nosferatu.
Is that the one? What was the one where they were on the
No, The Voyage.
That one I want to watch too.
I want to watch that one too. I don't remember. That one came out this year or last year?
That was last year, I think.
I think it was last year.
Yeah.
It was a vampire movie. It was
one of
like
our
Voyage
guys-
of something.
Had one of our guys from Game of Thrones
Yeah,
on it. Yeah. I don't remember when that one was supposed to come out. Vampire movies are like
I like vampire
I
movies.
avoid them from theaters because they don't bode well. Like they're not taken seriously enough, or they're taken too seriously. Nosferatu, I think, is going to be very serious and very. I hope it's scary. I hope I'm scared. Like I hope it scares me. Speaking of trailers, anyway, let's move on to the other ones that we can talk about.
It's Willem Dafoe and John Malkovich in a fictional version of the filming of the OG Nosferatu
Yeah,
movie.
that's right.
We saw. Oh my gosh, I feel like we've seen a clip of that movie.
I remember Brian. I remember him actually telling us about this.
Yeah,
beforehand.
I feel like we've seen a clip of that movie.
I'm totally okay with watching that
Yeah.
sometime. We watched the trailer for Borderlands 4.
The game.
The game.
The game. I know the last time we were on the podcast, we ripped Borderlands the movie to shreds.
Not very quaint with that flick.
No.
Nope.
No. I just.
Talked to my nephew about it a little bit because he actually liked it. I don't understand where he enjoyed it, really.
I can tell you that if we were
Not even 18, no.
I think if we were 18 years old, there's a level of expectation as an 18-year-old for a movie versus a level of expectation for a mid-30s adult.
Ah, God, are we getting old?
Older. We're considered mid-30s. I think middle age is like, isn't middle age like 50? Or is that like, I don't know.
I don't know.
we're not going to throw out
We're not
any more
gonna
old
get into
terms.
that one right there.
We're not going to do any more old terms. I've already accepted that I'm in my mid-30s. So
Yeah.
there we go. That's all we're going to
We'll
get.
just stick with that.
Yeah. Anyways,
Playing wise.
Borderlands 4, the game. To me, the trailer looks great.
Yep.
I think it looks good.
I'm actually
The only
hoping
game from Borderlands that we've played that I wasn't a huge fan of was
pre-sequel.
Was it? Yeah, the
Mhm.
pre-sequel.
I think
It was too busy.
we own that.
We did. Yeah,
No,
I think we
now.
bought it.
No, now we do as
Oh.
well. I think it was bundled with 2,
I think you're right.
and we have 3. But I think if we get the battle chest, there's other.
They've
Stuff.
always like that game. Just like Destiny and stuff. They always have these little like side things that they add.
Yeah, I love Borderlands. I loved 2 to death. That it was put up.
I'm
on a
still
pedestal.
down for getting our friends together and finishing Borderlands 2 with them because walking through
Yes.
playing a game that we've already played and finished multiple times and then presenting it to people and playing it with people that have never played it before. Like it's just like, oh, we get to show you something like, oh, hey, we've got a little like thing over here, and like I don't know, it's so much fun to be able to like have them experience it for the first time and be with them.
The thing is, we stopped because I think we were going back into playing Call of Duty.
We
again.
probably were. We got off of it, but yeah, we really need to get back into Borderlands. Like, just commit to one stream or even off stream playing it.
I agree. As soon as Patrick gets his other Xbox back, we'll definitely play. Well, I think.
Did you play Tales from the Borderlands at all? The Telltale game.
Telltale is hit and miss for me. Like the Walking Dead games were fine. I can't say they were great. I played the Jurassic Park one, a little bit of it. Didn't enjoy it very much. So Telltale's been like, I don't know if I'll.
I remember you playing the Walking Dead one.
The
I think you
problem with
liked
the
that
Walking Dead one is I've lost my save file twice. Had to restart it and go all the way through it, and I just lose interest by the time I get to chapter 5. So I've yet to finish the Walking Dead Telltale first, at least the first season.
Mm-hmm.
But playing wise, I've been playing some more Super Mario Odyssey. Went back to playing that while I was at my parents' place kind of beat it where you get to Bowser, but it's not considered done. Apparently, there's an act. I don't know if I've actually seen the ending to Super Mario Odyssey, if there actually is one. So I'm kind of looking into getting there on my own, like off stream, just doing my own chill gaming. And then also been playing some more Donkey Kong Land. I played Donkey Kong Land 3, and I gotta say, it's not hitting me the same way the Super Nintendo. It's just because I'd probably never played it before.
Yeah, you don't have that nostalgia factor to it.
Nostalgic to it.
Because that's what it was like when I was like, I picked up the Switch and you had like all of these older games that I had not played, and I was like, oh, let's try it out. And I'm like,
I could play the Pokemon card game though, just fine, and I never played it.
I can't get into it.
I loved it.
I tried it.
In fact, I would love for them to bring the second one. There's 2 of them. There's one that was put on the Game Boy Advance.
I want the original Pokemon.
I know you do, but
that's what I
want.
But
that card game was actually fun. It was fun. It was essentially making a deck that you go to gyms and beat them, and you get stuff off of them. It's actually entertaining to me. I don't know what it was.
I don't know. I don't know if I just played it on a day I was blah, but I was like, I couldn't get into it. I really couldn't.
Are we going back to Black Ops 6?
I mean, I know it's getting a lot of heat right now, but I also have been sick, and then we traveled, and I haven't played it for like 2 or 3 weeks. So the answer is yeah, I'm going to go back to it.
Are we playing it tonight, or what are we doing?
Tonight, as long as everybody can get it download, I think we're playing what animal party animals? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I want to play something like kind of fun and upbeat because it's been a while since I've streamed and talked to everybody.
We should have Crystal play it with us.
Yeah, as many people as we can get to play it because I think it's cross-play and everything.
Up to 8 players.
Yeah, as long as everybody gets it downloaded.
It's a beat 'em up. Everybody having fun.
I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we've been wanting to go back to it for a very long time.
Yeah,
but as far as any other playing goes, there's Warzone on the map right now, but a lot of people have fallen off right now.
Yeah, because it's horseshit.
So I'm in
it's
that
horrible.
boat, unfortunately. I am like,
don't we have like a new season of Fortnite we were gonna try?
Yeah, season 2 came back, but it's I don't think they have zero build yet for that.
Yeah, nope.
So, but they do have zero build for the new season, so it is what it is. Anyways, moving on from there, we got to talk about the NFL. We got to talk about fantasy. Alex is out of the playoffs.
Yeah, Brett beat me by 6 points.
Yeah, had you swapped out one of your receivers, or kickers,
it was my kicker.
You would have won.
Yep.
And you'd be in the playoffs today.
I would be, but
I'm in the playoffs right now.
I had a real shit season.
You kind of did.
Like,
you could have made it. You had a chance.
I know,
but
like either way, even if I made it into the playoffs,
you weren't eliminated until the last week.
I understand that, but even if I made it in, I was just.
I'm right now. There's only 4 people in the playoffs. There's only 2 rounds in the playoffs.
That's true.
So you don't have to worry too much about it. You didn't get that far up. I think you got 5th place in our league.
That's not
or
one
maybe
or 2.
6th. But I right now am placed 4th. I'm like the lowest, and I'm probably going to get eliminated. I mean,
that's different when you're talking about our the pick'ems. You and I are fighting for
first place,
first and second place. So.
I am not fighting for second. You're fighting for second.
I'm only 10 points behind you.
I know.
One wrong pick this
One
week,
wrong move,
and I can be in first.
I know. I know you could, but you know what? One right.
I wonder
pick.
if anybody thinks that we like cheat.
I hope
because
not.
we're husband and wife. I hope not because
we discuss the games.
We discuss the games, but like we don't go, oh, I'm gonna put money on this, or I'm gonna put points on this and this and this and this, and try to like match each other. Like,
hey,
I legit like look at like stats and stuff, and have been paying more attention to football and making a few
errors.
No, not errors. Making a few clever.
But the thing is, you're
bets.
in second place.
Yeah, I know.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I know. That's way better than I've been doing in the past.
Yeah,
I'm learning.
Yeah, I really enjoy the pick'ems a lot more than fantasy, even though fantasy is great and competitive. The unveiling for the PTO playoff shirt winner for the PTO football will be unveiled at the next episode, by the way. So
cool.
Those that are in the playoffs might want to take a look at our show next episode. Excuse me. But I do have the football games up, and we're gonna have to talk about our picks a little bit and decide on who we think is gonna win this week. We are nearing the end of the season.
Mhm.
The last 3 games of the season are amongst us. The only reason I know this is because we've been talking about Viking stuff all week, and we know there's only 3 games left for the Vikings. There's the Seahawks, which is happening on Sunday. There's the Packers happening next week. And then
we got the Lions,
we're
right?
going to Detroit in 3 weeks
Oh.
for the number 1 seed if we win out. How crazy. We're sitting here.
We're sitting here going, we're not supposed to be here right now. So the fact that every game that we win is a win, we just kind of go, I get more nervous the more wins we get. So.
The wins that we get are more dominant than what we had a couple years ago. Where we were getting those wins, last minute wins with Kirk Cousins.
Turning things around, yeah.
Now we have Sam Darnold, who every single analytic, everybody, except for one person that I know denied Darnold. And that one person was Brian.
I thought you said Brian told you all the good stuff about.
He did. He told me all the good
Darnold.
stuff about Darnold. He said, no, he could be good. And I was like,
oh, you're saying
really?
Everybody doubted.
He's
him,
the
but
only one
Brian.
that I have heard positively before the season started.
I think you're right.
And
I think you're
everyone
right.
else that I talked to was like, no, it's just going to be another mediocre season. But Brian,
I just automatically thought because we lost what's his name, McCarthy. Is that his name?
yes.
Yeah, because we lost McCarthy for injury for the whole season. I was like, oh great, now we're gonna suck.
So yes, Brian, I am giving you your flowers where they are due.
I told
on
you
this.
he was a good fit.
He's not saying it that way.
Yeah, he is.
I know he's not. But seriously, this I have never been so happy to be proven wrong.
I like Darnold.
Oh, he I am hoping finds either a home in Minnesota for a couple more years
I
where
hope
McCarthy
so.
sits back.
I think
and
we're
learns.
building a very strong team.
Or
for sure.
he goes to a team that will use him.
I
very
don't
well.
want him. I don't want to see him on a bench or a
But
backup.
I don't want to
He
see
needs to-
him go yet, and I
No.
don't think McCarthy's going to be ready next season.
I don't know.
He's. I just don't know either.
I think he's just going to be a strong. I'd like to see him just as a strong backup for us instead of who do we have right now as our backup? Mullins.
Okay. we have
like 4. I think we have like a huge locker room full of backup quarterbacks
So we
right
have
now.
Mullins, Ripon. I don't think we have
McCarthy?
Hall anymore. McCarthy, Jones, and Darnold. Daniel Jones.
Oh, okay.
We have Daniel Jones on our practice squad. How insane!
I don't know. It's weird.
Uh-huh.
We need to like move on.
Picks,
We've got
picks,
a lot of stuff
picks,
to talk
picks,
about,
picks,
so
picks,
we got to
picks.
do things.
Okay, so the Chargers beat the Broncos in the weirdest. Okay, we got to talk about the kick. The kick.
Yeah, that weird kick thing that happened.
They were given a fair catch kick, a 57-yarder, because. Okay, first of all, let's explain this. So we're watching the game with no sound on, and I'm like, why is everybody lined up in kickoff formation? This is right at the half, by the way. It was 0 seconds on the clock, I think, but they're like right at the 50 almost. It was a 57-yarder because they called for a fair catch. The person got hit, so that's a penalty. So they move forward, and so. Instead of doing a Hail Mary, which we all know Dan Campbell would have done, coach of the Lions, anyways, they did what was called a fair catch kick, which hasn't been done since the early 2000s. Hasn't been successfully done since when?
It was like 50 years or something.
It's been about 50 years
like ridiculous
since
stats.
a fair catch kick has been successfully done. And the Chargers just did it.
Yeah.
With Dicker the kicker.
Dicker the kicker.
So, yeah. Congrats on that.
Congrats,
making
Dicker.
history. But the Broncos lost, and I'm actually happy about that because the more and more the Broncos succeed, the more and more I get mad that their coach is succeeding because he was the coach of the Saints, and, the Saints had the the Bounty Gate against Brett Favre. And so that was bad. Anyways, moving on. We have some games to pick here. All right. So
let's do it.
Kansas City is hosting Houston. Who do you think is going to win that one?
I mean, Kansas City, but at the same time, we've got Patrick Mahomes is injured.
He's got an injury going on right now.
But also at the same, I don't know.
High ankle
I
sprain.
think it's a.
This seems to happen to Mahomes almost every season.
At the end of the season, yeah.
Every season.
I think I'm still gonna say Kansas City. I might change my mind. That one's a tough one.
I think Houston is gonna win.
It's tough.
I think Houston's gonna win this one because they are playing for playoff.
Everybody is
roles.
Everybody's like, these are the games that matter right now.
For sure. Those are the two that matter. Like, those two teams are playing for playoff roles.
It's a toss up right now. I haven't
Kansas
fully
City
decided.
could be in the same boat right now as the Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions have, I believe, 17 players on injured reserve.
They're still
3 games left.
showing their strength though. So it's difficult to go against them.
Yep. Baltimore is hosting Pittsburgh.
I'm going to call Baltimore.
I think Baltimore is going to win this one. The confidence on the charts are Baltimore right now, so it's really hard to say that Pittsburgh can't come back and beat this any given Sunday. But of course, it is the AFC.
Yeah, they
are also fighting for contention because they are both leading the charge on the AFC, and they're behind the Bills and the Chiefs. Atlanta is hosting the Giants. I mean, Atlanta. I mean, anything against the Giants, the Panthers.
I mean, they just benched Cousins, or they're letting go of Cousins.
Oh, they benched Cousins. Yeah. Michael Penix is
so that one might be a toss up. Look at me talking about football. Look at me talking about football. This is weird. And you're like, oh yeah, you're right. I can make a difference. Yeah, so that might also be a toss up too, because I'm not exactly sure how this other how this other quarterback plays. So
somewhere your mother is shedding a tear.
I know.
Of pride.
I know. You're shedding a tear.
I am so proud of you bringing this to light, because I actually didn't think about it.
Oh damn! Now you're gonna. Never mind.
Go on.
Keep going.
Okay. Detroit is going against Chicago.
It's going to be Detroit. I'm sorry.
It's going to be Detroit.
I can see.
Chicago's going to put up a good fight.
I know, but I can see because they almost lost to the Bears. So I can see it.
Ooh.
Wow. Do you see me talking about football?
Oh, you're right.
I'm right, huh?
They were one. Weren't they?
It was like a one score. It was like
they were a block. A field goal block away from losing.
So that one's also a toss up. I could see the Bears taking it.
I mean, Detroit did just lose to the Bills.
I know.
In one of the highest scoring games back to forth.
I know.
Okay. There is a statement that was proven.
What?
At the beginning of the fourth quarter, when it was Bills versus Lions last week, the Lions did that onside kick at the beginning of the fourth quarter. They made a statement. That statement is, our defense is trash, and we need to have the ball. They didn't even have a lead. They had a 7-point. They were down by 7.
But do you see what we did to the Bears? And the Bears fucking sucks.
Well, our defense is very strong.
I know. Okay, let's go next.
They're sturdy. Anyways, so we don't know really. The Giants could beat Atlanta, and Detroit could lose to Chicago. Yeah. These are really
it's a toss up right now.
These confidence points I'm putting on here should not be these high. Then, if that's the case,
no, you're gonna keep them the way that they are. I haven't even chosen my points.
I might have to revamp these on Saturday. Anyways, Cincinnati is hosting Cleveland.
Cincinnati. Sorry.
They're fighting for the playoffs in general.
Most of the time I will put a confidence point on Cleveland, just a pity point, just because.
Cleveland doesn't play good football right now.
I can't do it right now.
You watched the one game they played well?
Yep.
And then we watched the one game they played bad.
Yep. I think they're done.
Yeah. They're sitting. Indianapolis is hosting Tennessee. This is a toss-up.
That one's going to be a weird one. I think Indy.
People think Indy,
I'm thinking Indy for that one.
I think so, too. The Rams are going against the Jets.
Rams? I don't know.
The Rams have been playing well.
I know.
The Jets are not, but Aaron Rodgers he can do weird things.
I don't know. That one's a toss-up, but I'm gonna. My gut says Rams.
I have the Rams.
Okay.
Philadelphia against Washington.
Philly.
Ooh. You say that, but this is a rivalry game.
I know, but I feel my gut says Philly.
Washington hasn't really had a good last couple of games. Like they haven't been explosive. They've been getting a few here and there, like good things, but I haven't seen Washington on the highlight reel in a minute, so
Yeah.
I can't say whether or not that's going to be in their favor. Arizona and Carolina. We know Arizona, right? Carolina is
Sorry.
Carolina's bad. Minnesota going to Seattle. Geno Smith is he's practicing this week. He was injured last week.
I feel a little bit better, and I'm going to say Minnesota.
I'm saying Minnesota. The only reason why I'm saying Minnesota is because I think that Geno Smith is not going to be mobile if he is playing. His knee was bad. His knee was really bad. But then again, Brian O'Neill did the same thing. You saw it last week where he got hurt. He was back out
He
like
was back
3
out.
plays later.
Yeah.
So
walk it off.
yeah, he practiced. He's practicing right now. He's getting like limited practice. So, Minnesota could walk away with this one. Minnesota has not won in Seattle since the early 2000s.
That's okay, because it might happen. It might not. We're moving on. We can't talk about that anymore.
Buffalo is hosting New England. Buffalo.
Buffalo.
New England is bad right now. They just New England's getting rid of all their players. It seems like. Vegas is hosting Jacksonville. I think Vegas has got this one.
I'm gonna put a confidence point, I think, on Vegas.
I think Vegas has got this.
But I'm sorry, Patrick. I know that they're shit right now, but I'll give you my point towards Vegas. How about that?
Yep. Miami is hosting San Francisco.
It'll be the Niners, I think.
This is a 51% on Niners.
It's the difficult one.
It's because San Francisco's beat up.
I know.
They are beat up.
But
bro.
I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm probably gonna do a confidence point on San Francisco.
Yeah, the Raiders should win that. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Tampa Bay against Dallas. Tampa Bay, right?
That's what I was going for. Is Tampa?
I think so. Dallas's defense is small.
Mm-hmm.
All right, one more, last one.
Okay.
New Orleans at Green Bay. I think Green Bay's got it.
Yeah.
I think Green Bay's got it.
I'm gonna say Green Bay.
Yeah. So those are the picks, and we move on. We gotta move into our movie club movie, and then we're gonna do our year in review. We've got a few topics to bring up. I don't know if we'll do the celebrity deaths.
No, I don't.
We don't really need to revisit that. I'm sure we skipped it last year. I believe.
Yeah, I don't think that unless it's something like.
But there were some big ones.
I know
last
that.
year that hit us,
I know there was actually. Was it this year or last year?
What's that?
That we lost.
Who?
Zavala. Was that last year that we lost Zavala?
See, it's been a long year, so I don't recall. I think it was because
I think it was last year. Yeah, I think it was last year.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, so we got to get into our movie club movie, and this one was kind of my choice. It was my choice, but it was offered up by Patrick, and a lot of people were like, "Yeah,
a lot." It was even mentioned in my work chat yesterday, and they're like, "Oh, Alex, you'll love that movie."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Okay, I've not heard anything
So,
bad yet."
The movie is Krampus, and this movie came out in 2015.
Josh and I knew jack shit about this movie.
I know nothing about
nothing
Krampus,
about the history, nothing about
the
nothing,
mythology or anything.
nothing. I knew absolutely nothing about it.
Going in blind. So here's the synopsis, all right? And then we'll get into who stars in it, Rotten Tomatoes and budget, and our review and facts. So, here's the synopsis. When his dysfunctional family clashes over the holidays, young Max gets disillusioned and turns his back on Christmas. Meanwhile, his lack of festive spirit unleashes the wrath of Krampus, a demonic force of ancient evil intent on punishing non-believers. All hell breaks loose as beloved holiday icons take on a monstrous life of their own, laying siege to the fractured family's home and forcing them to fight for one another if they hope to survive. Starring Adam Scott, Toni Collette, David Koechner, and MJ Anthony. Critics give this movie a 66%. Fans give it a 52%. The budget was $15 million. And the box office did 61.5. So,
well,
successful
That's successful.
for a Christmas movie and a horror movie at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay, so reviews on this. Went in blind, not knowing what to expect. Half of the movie is a Christmas movie. It's like purely fun. Like you get kind of like
it is actually like 50-50. Oh, I'd say it aims more toward no, I'd say 50-50. It's like 50-50. A Christmas movie. It's a Christmas horror movie. Yeah.
you kind of get like a Christmas Vacation vibe where the family comes over and you're getting stressed out and you understand the holidays, it happens, and you just hope that your loved ones aren't thinking the same thing.
Right.
Or aren't thinking, bad
It
things
was a
about
very
you.
real life kind of Christmassy feel. Like not like the oh my god, it's the holidays. It's not a cheerful, like it's like an actual like why the fuck did you bring Aunt blah 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 here, like, and everyone's just putting on a smiling face because it's Christmas kind of thing.
I think that the way that we went in, we expected pure horror, like just like I don't know, scary. I don't know, off the wall. I expected scary. Did you expect scary? Very scary. I mean, you jumped a couple times.
Yeah, but I don't
What
know
did
if
you
I
expect
don't know
from
what
this
I
film?
expected, to be honest. Like I went in with a clean slate, like brain.
If you judge a book by its cover,
I didn't even know what the dude looked like, what Krampus looked like.
and you still don't. That's a mask.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, then, yeah. But either way, like I went in with like zero expectations. I knew nothing.
Yeah. Personally, I cannot stand Toni Collette. That's the mom. I can't stand her. Didn't like her in Hereditary. Don't like her in this movie. Let me find out what else she's in.
You don't have to. We don't have time.
I want to know. We do have time. It's our show. Are you
It's our
timing it?
show. I'm hungry.
Oh. Oh, she's in The Sixth Sense. That's right. She's the mom.
She is.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I forgot about that.
I think she only looks good in that movie.
Wow.
Knives
Yeah.
Out. She's in Knives Out. I don't like her.
Yeah,
in
Knives Out,
I
yeah.
don't like her in Knives Out. She plays like a horrible person in Knives Out, I think.
She does. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
That's the
then again,
movie
almost everybody in that
I think
movie
that's the movie I
does.
associate her with the most is Knives Out, to be honest.
Well, mine was Hereditary.
Oh. Yeah.
And now The Sixth Sense. But
Yeah.
I just don't prefer to look at her. She's just she gives me Uma Thurman vibes, and both of them are not for me. Anyways, Adam Scott is a dork. He's a dork in this
I thought
movie.
you were gonna say he's adorable, and I was like, "Oh, high five! He is adorable."
No, he's a dork.
Do you think he's adorable though?
No.
Please tell. As a man, do you think he's adorable? He is, isn't
well,
he?
I prefer dork Adam Scott over. Well, hold on.
Yeah. What are you gonna say? He goes,
I was gonna say depressed Adam Scott because Severance is a very good role.
Yeah,
for
but he
him.
does a really good job in like everything we've seen him in. So, but
You see him as like this giddy little nerd.
I'd marry him. He'd be like my celebrity. Like I don't want to like. He'd be like, you could take me out on a date. We go play video games or something together.
No, don't get me wrong. I do like Adam Scott. Every role that he's in, he does it well.
I
really
like
enjoy seeing
what
him on
what
screen.
describes him the most to me is he's adorable. He's not.
He's adorkable.
Yeah, there you go. He's
If you wanna make up a
he's
word.
adorkable. I love that. Like he's
He's-
not like this, Chris Hemsworth, like big, bulky, like manly guy, but he's like the kind of guy I'm into. I guess like the opposite of that. Like I like just a somebody I can sit on the couch with and play
I'm not
video
gonna no more.
games and
No,
be
no,
funny
he's
and-
totally cool. He's the coolest, raddest dude.
yeah.
But yeah, who has writing credits on this actually? Let me see. There's multiple people. Okay, only 3. Never mind. But yeah, this movie came out in 2015. I remember our friends talking about this at the time. They went and saw it in theaters. They said it was awesome, but then they also said a lot of other movies that were pretty mediocre were awesome too.
Mhm.
So,
So let's talk about your review and then I'll tell you mine.
I wanted more of just Krampus. I wanted more of just him. I didn't want his minions. They were annoying. The snowmen could have done more to that fear factor. They could have done more. They pushed the boundaries of comedy on this a little too much for me to honestly enjoy it. I think it was too goofy for me. I'm not going to watch it again. There are times when I thought it was, there were some good parts. It does have a Black Mirror ending, really up to interpretation, but it can be very bad, or it could be fine. It could be just a Men in Black interpretation where they could be saying one thing and it's totally not the same thing. So, I mean, my score I'll wait till the end to give, but we can have that discussion. What's your interpretation of this movie?
I actually really liked it.
I'm sure you did because it has Adam Scott.
No, no. Mine is being biased about like acting.
Okay.
Because I mean, to be honest, the acting in it was.
It was acting.
I mean, it was
how it was written.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was not like dramatic, gonna get an Oscar acting. It was perfect, but the acting was perfect for the environment of the movie. Like,
I think I wanted a scarier Christmas movie that took itself seriously.
The only thing that I enjoyed it. I was laughing and I jumped. Like, it was kind of like I think there was a fine line between this is scary, oh this is funny.
Yeah.
Like with the gingerbread men.
That was
like,
silly. And
that
CGI,
it's funny, but it's also like it's fucking scary.
No. The one thing that was weird and odd and scary in its own way was the wormy.
That thing is nasty. That gave me some like when you see the feet like going down his throat, like the Jack in the Box looking thing, like the big long Jack in the Box thing. That was the scariest part for me was like him swallowing the person and like it just it kind of gave me like the toys kind of gave me a Five Nights at Freddy's vibe, like with the way that their mouths and everything.
But they had no soul, They kind of looked soulless and creepy. Like
but I thought it was like a fun. You're not exactly sure like what's next. Is something funny gonna happen or is something scary gonna happen? So I kind of like the mix of it being funny and scary.
Okay.
I will tell you that when I asked you maybe 20 minutes into the movie what this was rated and you said it was PG-13, I automatically my expectation of the movie dropped. Because I was like, ooh, that means we're probably not going to really be too scared because there's not very many PG-13 ratings anymore that are. I just feel like if this movie was R, I feel like there's a lot more that could have happened. Like you actually seeing what happens to these people that are getting killed, or dying or disappearing or going to the underworld, where you don't really know what happens to them. You just hear like a scream and it's off screen, so you don't know what's happening. So yeah, your mind can make this shit up, so which makes it scary. But like, I would love to have seen a little bit more blood and gore, to be honest, which is weird coming from me because I don't really like that kind of stuff. You're all like,
I don't want it. I don't want
like,
the blood and gore.
I feel like if they would have done that, it would have pushed an R rating, and I don't think that that's what they were going for.
No, I agree.
Because I feel like this movie is fun to see as a teenager, but also as an adult.
I think I would have enjoyed it more as a teenager.
Definitely. We would have like been all over this movie as a teenager. I think that this movie
would have been a lot more enjoyable had I just gone in with the expectations of it being more of a comedy. Like,
I see, and that's the thing. I didn't know if it was going to be comedic or not, and I like that it was a mix of both. So I'm like, do I take this movie seriously or do I not take this movie seriously? So it kind of kept you guessing. I really enjoyed the ending. I also thought Krampus himself, like at the very end when the boy's talking to him and stuff, trying to convince him, hey, just take everything back, and you think it's going to happen, but then it doesn't, but then it does. Like all this, like I like all this toss up, and you really still don't know. Did he get his wish? Did he not get his wish?
Right.
It has, like Josh said, like a Sixth Sense kind of ending or a Black Mirror kind of ending, and I really like that. I think that, there's also obvious non-real world things. Like if it was really that fucking cold,
there's a naughty
you would
version.
not go out.
There's a naughty version that's a little more extra.
But naughty version?
You know how like instead of it being like an unrated or naughty,
like a red band is what you mean, like.
Well, that's what was said in chat, that there's a naughty version that's a little extra but not really gory.
Oh. Well, I did not
Usually
know that.
horror movies die at PG-13, but The Ring did just fine.
I know, that's what I'm trying to tell you. I think
The
that
Sixth
this
Sense
movie
did
could have.
fine,
I think it could have
Signs.
peaked at an R rating.
Oh, I agree. Oh, this
I
could
think
have
it could
been
have peaked at an R rating, and I
way
think
up there.
PG-13 it hit the ceiling of where it could be to be PG-13 flowing into R. But overall, I thought it
think
was
so.
great. Krampus is actually really fucking scary.
I liked his I want to here's the thing. I want a sequel.
I was gonna say that. I'm like, I actually would not mind a sequel to this.
That
Like-
is a little more higher budget.
I mean, I thought the budget was fine.
Raise the budget more so you can see more Krampus because he's a little more practical, of course.
Like the whole like jaw thing when his jaw's like open and all, like it just like that's really creepy, and like he's got hooves and he's got long fingers and claws and chains all over him. Like he looks like something out of a child's nightmare. Like he's like the opposite of Santa, and which is exactly what he is. And I think they did a very good job making him. I don't know if Krampus is really like a thing and like the lore.
It's a folklore, which
It
I'll get
is.
into that.
See,
a
I
little
don't know
bit.
about any of that.
Yeah.
But whatever they did, like they made him look amazing. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I wouldn't mind watching this on a yearly basis, to be honest.
Really?
Like it's one of those movies that I feel like, all right, you know how we watch Rocky Horror and we make fun of it kind of thing? I feel like it's kind of like, it's not that cheesy, but it's like one of those that you watch every year just to like, oh, this part's coming up. Like Killer Clowns. Like Killer Clowns I thought was like such a great movie because it was horror and funny at the same time. And I kind of liked that. So I enjoyed the movie. I'm going to give it an 8.
I'm giving it a 6.5. Which is
really
not an awful rating. 7 is normally a rewatch. This one can probably go up if I give it another chance, I think. But I'm not gonna say that it was like a mind blowing,
the fact that
horror,
the
comedy.
critics
I don't
gave
know.
it like the critics is one thing, but the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes was like a 58. I was like, really? I was
was ready to-
expecting like high 70s.
I was ready to give this a low number because of like
I
a
like
lot
the
of the stuff that was
originality of
going
everything
on
of it.
in
Like
the-
it's really, I like it.
Well, a lot of the stuff that was going on in the movie, I was like, okay, I don't like the gingerbread at all. That just needs to go away. It's just not even like it's not impactful to the story to me. But everything else that was the snowmen, I wanted more of like what that.
If
was
I was a
about.
teenager, this was borderline, might give me a little bit of nightmares.
Maybe.
Like the way, like just the fact that of a reality of making that type of wish, and like it's like the complete opposite of what would happen on Christmas, and they just turn into a nightmare full of like gingerbreads and toys coming to life and killing you, and it's like I don't know, I really like the writing. I think it was good. I know that it's cheesy. I can see the bad parts of it, but I'm just gonna accept it as.
Well, they put David Kitchener in it.
I know, and he's.
I could almost not stand him. The
I
only
d-
movie I
I-
like him in is Waiting.
I know.
That is the only movie. You can't convince me otherwise that he's good in like almost. I don't know. The Office was.
I guess,
was
yeah,
okay
with
in
The
The
Office.
Office.
But I know he's a bit like more like an over actor
Yeah.
kind of thing.
I know he's great in Anchorman.
But I think
He
I know. I
overacts in
think
that,
I'm
but
ready
that's
for
okay.
a Krampus 2.
I'd like a Krampus too. I agree.
Krampus 2. I would watch that.
I agree.
We have a lot of comments going on right now.
I know. I gotta talk some facts. All right. So Krampus is a huge part of Austrian and German folklore. In Austria, southern Germany, they have Krampus runs where grown-up men dress as Krampuses and parade through the city streets and scare children. So they do that
I should cosplay Krampus.
uh,
Can you imagine? Ooh.
Anyways,
That would take a lot of work.
so the director describes the Krampus in this film as Santa Claus's shadow.
Yeah.
He's not the unstoppable monster that kicks down your door and rampages and grabs you. There's something darkly playful about him. He's having a good time doing what he does and enjoys the cat and mouse aspect of it. I wanted more chase. There wasn't enough chase where you saw Krampus coming after you. That he's not like a. He didn't present to me as. I just wanted more. I wanted more of him. 'Cause
Well, I
the
think that's why I
movie is
wanted
called
to.
Krampus.
Why I wanted to want a Krampus too is I want to see more of him, but I understand the build because like
when he comes out of the fireplace, that was great.
that scene where coming down the fireplace, you're like, oh my god, I'm actually gonna see him like that, and then
the,
right at
the
right
horns
at the
coming
end,
out.
like oh, it was good.
That was good.
Yeah,
That was
it
a good
scene.
direction. Good
scene.
direction. Yep.
And you're wondering whether or not he actually is gonna spare what's her Uni or what Omni, whatever the grandma.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, is he actually gonna do that because he spared her once? And like, I don't know. I don't want to give too much away because I feel like a lot of people haven't seen this movie, and I'm telling you that if you're a horror fan, I think that you should go see it.
It's not as
or go see it. I think you should watch it.
It's not as horror.
I would
though.
consider it a Christmas horror movie.
A Christmas thriller.
I would not say thriller.
Well,
No.
there's
I would call it a horror movie.
no.
I know there's not enough like blood and gore.
There's not enough
but
to
there's
call
enough.
it horror.
There's enough blood and gore up here that happens in your head.
Psychological.
Like
thriller,
psychological.
then, I guess. The visible breath in the cold exteriors was done digitally because this was 95% of this movie was shot on a soundstage.
I
So-
figured.
Most of that snow is fake.
Of course, they're not gonna go outside and really like be frozen to death.
A major component of it was involved filming real people in freezers reading dialogue for the scenes. Their breath was then isolated and added optically into the shots.
Cool.
Which digital breath has only gotten better.
It has. It has. It used to be horrible.
It used to be terrible.
Yeah.
Saw 3. It's bad.
Oh, it's bad.
The breath is so bad in the freezer. It's so bad. The freezing of that lady was so bad in Saw 3.
Well, because it happened so quickly, but the prepping or the build to until she gets
How
completely
cold she
frozen. Yeah,
was?
I can't imagine.
Oh.
I can't. I just think of my tits.
No,
I'm
no.
serious.
Just anything else
Ugh.
like on your body is entirely too.
You know how
anyways.
you don't like guys don't like going into the water when it's cold. I don't know. I've never really talked to other girls about this, but I hate like from my belly button up getting in.
Oh,
Like I was like, oh my god, my boobs are gonna get cold.
Here's a good description of the movie for the facts. They made a point of having the film's first act be strictly a Christmas movie before having it turn towards horror and dark fantasy. Dark fantasy.
Ah!
There you go.
Like Dark Crystal kind of thing. Like that's kind of what I get out of it. It's a lot of Dark Crystal because like the
dark
Muppets and
fantasy.
stuff. Yeah, dark fantasy horror Christmas movie. There you go. Dark fantasy. That's a good word.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Many of Krampus's minions are also real Christmas and winter folk figures in European cultures, such as the Yule goat. The creatures with Icelandic names are named after the Icelandic Yule lads who are said to visit homes each of the 13 nights before Christmas. Krampus's true face is hidden underneath a Santa Claus mask and is never fully revealed to the audience as
I did
a
not
choice
know that was a
by
mask.
the filmmakers. Yes, he's more of a goat. Yeah.
A weird goat.
Yep.
Which is it satanic.
Makes sense. Yes. The filmmakers did not want the viewers to see their face and make their own conclusions. Because they did the Blair Witch Project thing where you make it up in your own mind.
Yeah.
Once you're shown, that is why I don't like Insidious. Had I not known what that demon looked like, I think that movie would have been
Darth Maul.
better. He's Darth Maul, for
Darth
F's
Maul.
sake. Just take Obi-Wan to him. He's gone. No.
Yep.
Insidious is not scary to
This
me.
is Darth Maul.
Hereditary is not scary to me. I don't know. There's portions of that movie. I don't know. You just kick the mother or something. Whatever. Sorry. Moving on. What you make up in your own mind is better than what they actually show you. Like if you didn't know what the Cloverfield monster fully looked like, I think you would have enjoyed that movie more. Honestly, for those that don't like it. Anyways, back to Krampus's description. His eyes and mouth are only visible traces that can be seen through the mask. So of course, yeah, the eyes, when you see a close up of his face,
Yeah.
those eyes, those like
That was a goat eye.
yeah, goat eyes. The movie's ambiguous ending has spawned two fan theories. Either they're trapped in the ending, and they're in their own twisted version of hell.
Yeah.
Or they were given his wish. He was given his wish at the end.
That's what I said. Like, you're not really sure.
Yeah.
About the ending.
So that's kind of like they wanted to make sure it felt a little more open-ended for people to get their own idea and like
they want me to make a
ideas.
sexy Krampus version for cosplay.
Look out.
Lady Krampus.
So, Howard Jr. drinking out of the cup that was flagged as a moment of concern for showing a child drinking a sip of spiked hot chocolate. The directors were worried it could land them an R rating, but it was okay to show a kid getting swallowed by a clown monster.
the end of it. The end of the kid being swallowed by a clown
just your interpretation. So I love how it's like what you make up is better than what they can show you in anything. Even if they show you what you're imagining, because then it's real. It's better if you just kind of aren't shown something entirely. But, you know, what I wanted more of Krampus was more of him on screen. I just wanted to be able to observe Krampus longer because you see him bound from housetop to housetop, and that was scary in its own right.
That was, yeah.
I didn't understand the minions, so when the girl screamed, I didn't understand the trauma behind it or what was happening.
Well, that's what I said. I was like, if they would have done an R rating and you actually get to see what they're doing to these people, like killing them,
yeah,
like the entire thing, I think that would have made this movie like, oh shit, hey, have you seen this movie called Krampus? It's fucked up. Like, it's already fucked up. So I will tell you, like, the one time I laughed was when the gingerbread men have the staple gun or the nail
gun, yeah,
the nail gun, and their fucking laugh made me laugh because he was like, do, and I was like, holy shit, you're gonna, like, you have gingerbread men that are like shooting a nail gun at you and it gets hit in the leg and they go hee hee hee, and I just like lost it.
Speaking of shooting, Adam Scott is the worst fucking shot in this movie. You want to defend him on anything?
No, I'm
sorry. He could have
sorry.
lived had he just paced his shot.
They are invincible creatures.
You can shoot him and scare him away.
They're invincible. They were going to get shot.
I don't know. They're
they
mythological.
were going to die
you can
anyway.
make up your own
It's
rules.
fine.
Anyways, I think the movie was fine. I think it was fun in its own right.
Now that we talked about it a little bit, are you going to give it a higher score? Or are you going to keep it at a
6.5?
6.5? Okay.
Yep. I think that's what it deserves.
That's true. He was not a gun person. He grew up as a Boy
That's
Scout.
higher than what the fans are giving it. So give me my own like.
I just said no. We talked about it. Do you want to raise your score? I didn't. You don't have to. I was just asking.
No, 6.5.
No. All right. I give it an 8.
I had originally written down a 5. So
so it did go
you
up.
brought me up from that by you glamorizing some of the stuff. I was prepared to dog this film for what it was. Because there is a lot wrong with it in my eyes. Because I wanted a serious horror movie.
I was expecting to hate this movie.
I wanted serious.
I know a lot of people said that I was going to love it. And I'm like, yeah, but they don't know me. At least I don't think so. And I'm like, I feel like I'm going to hate this movie. Like, I had not a lot of... If you would have said, Alex, we're going to watch Krampus, I would have looked at you and been like, I don't even know what it is, but it sounds stupid.
No, I don't think so. What I think is you would have looked at the cover and been like, okay, let's test it out. And what you probably would have wanted was probably a little bit more serious of a film if you were younger.
What's the thing look like? The poster, the movie poster.
It's a snow globe of the house and Krampus's hand over it.
Oh, that is kind of creepy. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the poster anyway on HBO Max. Anyways, so what's our next movie?
Actually, I have like a whole bunch written down now.
Because you've gone through the movies that we haven't seen of 2024 that have come out that we could probably review at this point. She observes.
Well, because I don't want to take this one from you, but I agree we should watch it.
I don't care. Take what?
Gladiator 2?
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Gladiator 2.
We do have to watch Gladiator 1 before 2.
I am in total agreement. Gladiator 1
We haven't seen Gladiator in such a long time that I think it would be worth rewatching. Just so we have like the full story before seeing Gladiator.
It's funny you say that. It's oddly a Christmas movie to me.
Bullshit.
It's not a Christmas movie at all. But my brother got it for Christmas on VHS when it came out, and it just is nostalgic of Christmas to me because he watched it around that time a couple times, and I was really into Gladiator at the same time as him. So it's oddly a Christmas movie to me. The first like 10 minutes of the movie, they're in snow anyway, so it kind of like reminds me of it anyway. But
Okay.
but even though Gladiator is by no means
It's not a Christmas
that at all, my brother was just gifted it around that time, so it just became one of those movies that reminds me of that time. Anyways, so Gladiator 2.
Yep.
I will look up the synopsis on this one because I actually don't know what this movie's about.
I know. It looks good.
Pedro Pascal's in it.
Well, that
Denzel
too.
Washington.
You know, my hottie's in it. Pedro.
Paul Mescal is the main character. Connie
If
Nielsen
you,
reprises
we've
her
got
role.
Brian saying if you do Gladiator 2, you should look up the crazy story it was supposed to have before they went the route that they did with the sequel.
I will. Hey, there's a phone charger over there if you want it. It's a long one for you to use. Ayo.
Ayo?
It's right there. Joseph Quinn is in this. Oh, Joseph Quinn. He's Eddie.
Oh, okay.
And he's also from Stranger or A Quiet Place.
Quiet Place.
Yep.
Yeah, I like him.
Anyways, here's the synopsis of Gladiator 2. After his home is conquered by the tyrannical emperors that now lead Rome, Lucius is forced to enter the Colosseum and must look to his past to find strength to return the glory of Rome to its people. That's very ambiguous.
Okay.
That doesn't give you a whole lot.
That's fine.
2.5 hours long, which is fine.
That's fine. It probably needs to be. Popcorn.
What?
Popcorn.
Popcorn.
Yeah, we need to be able to snack on something for 2.5 hours.
It's directed by Ridley Scott. So I'm actually, as much as people have, given it's whatever that I've heard that it's not like amazing or whatever critics are giving it, and whatever I've heard around.
Well, no, I don't think it's going to top Gladiator, but
Denzel Washington's in it. He can do things.
It's been a while since we've seen him on screen.
He's in a lot of movies that we're not watching.
Oh, well, it's been a while since we've seen him.
You and I have never seen The Equalizer.
Nope.
He sequeled that, and I think there's a third one coming out too. Equalizer was his first sequel.
Wow.
Denzel Washington doesn't sequel movies. And he's in a sequel. He's in Gladiator 2. So he broke his streak. He's starring in a sequel as well as he did a sequel to a movie. He never said he was going to do sequels.
Okay.
Anyways, moving on. We have to talk about 2024 in our own right as far as a review. And then we have to go over what other people said too. So okay.
Do you want to do the fan question first?
Over what?
Before we do our review? Like read everybody else's before we read.
Do you want to do everybody else's before us?
I think we should do the fan question first.
Like their response?
Yeah,
and
I think
then
we
ours?
should do theirs, then ours.
Okay. Sure. Let me.
Because I think ours is just going to take a lot of time, and
it really will.
I mean, we'll try to make it as TLDR, but
we have had the longest
it has
year
been
ever.
A roller coaster year for us. It has definitely not been vanilla.
No, it has not. So how would you rate your 2024 year and explain it? This meme I made up because it was like it kind of just how the cashier looks at you when you're ready to do a tip or whatever, and I just switched it out with how would you rate your 2024 year? Yeah. Anyways, it's kind of just a dumb meme. Got some responses on Discord. Appreciate all those that have given us their responses on social media, here on YouTube. If you do them here, or call us on our PTO hotline 224-225-5780. You can call us there and leave a voicemail as well. So, got a couple of responses on Discord. One from Sassy. She said, could have been better, could have been worse. Our family has been on a roller coaster of events and emotions over the last 3 years. We're all hoping for a turnaround soon.
Right.
Got one from Arrow. He left his regular old paragraph, and appreciate him responding. He said, it started off spectacular for the first few months, but then everything turned to horror after that. My grandmother died, my friend died, and a bunch of other stuff as well turned into crap.
Oh,
Mental health was poor, but trying to make the most out of everything with the little bit of time we have left in 2024. But on a positive,
know he went through a big bump.
Yeah, he was pretty silent for a minute there too on our end. But on a positive note, I have been wrestling a lot this year on the road, creating memories, and had the opportunity to share a locker room with former AEW and WWE superstars and train with them.
Mm-hmm.
P.S. I finally got to meet you guys in person, so that was a plus.
It was.
So
It was
this
awesome.
year, I would probably rate it 5 out of 10.
Aw.
That's awesome, though. When
That was
we
such a fun time meeting Arrow. It was like, oh my God, we're actually going to be like 45 minutes away. Arrow, you want to meet up? Hell yeah.
we were right there, and this is before all the weird activity that's going on in the Jersey area. We were
Yeah.
right there in the biggest city in the U.S.
Yeah.
Crazy. We're gonna get
We
into
had New York pizza in New York City with Arrow.
that.
Our first New York downtown experience, and we got to experience it with Arrow.
Yep. What's you got some responses?
I do. So my dad's mom, my grandma, she said, all years are good years. Of course things go wrong. Not every day is sunshine, but all years are good. We are so lucky to have everything we have, is what she said.
Very true.
My brother responded.
Okay.
And he said it was better than 2020.
Well, he did have a successful year in his career.
Yeah.
He's doing better. He's getting up there in his career.
Yes.
He's doing well.
My other grandmother, my mom's mom, said, it was sad with the loss of my brother, but good with the vacation that I took to Mexico.
Yeah,
Like, she was in Mexico
she
for
took
like a month.
long trip.
Yeah,
to
she was in
Mexico.
Mexico for a month with her son.
You know what?
So,
We're gonna be able to do that next year, probably, if we want to.
yeah, well, we're gonna be planning some stuff. that's
Planning
for
a trip,
sure.
planning some trips. That'd be great.
There's definitely more. Hold on.
Got one on Facebook from Jeff, your dad, who is one of our top fans of the PTO Unlimited podcast. He said this should help, and he showed a dumpster fire. He must not have had a good year. I get it.
dumpster
Some
fire.
people have not, and they've been very quiet about it. Whereas, you and I have had a lot of positivity.
Which is odd.
Odd.
It's odd. I mean,
Odd.
I don't brag about having a good year ever. So,
Right. Because you're
we've got-
scared of it turning around so
I know, right?
fast.
We've got Patrick on Instagram.
Hey, Patrick. What?
Aren't you gonna plug him? Paranormal Pativity Podcast.
Yeah, shout out to him.
Okay. Anyways, he says highs and lows, sucky for the most part, other than two things: one, Brett's wedding and getting to see my Indiana peeps. Aw, babes. Two, the birth of my first nephew.
Very true. He's very excited about that. Yeah, that was a long week.
It was a long.
That was a long week.
Long week.
We had a lot of party planning.
It was a lot, but it was fun.
I enjoyed every minute of it.
Yeah. We've got Terrible Terror Podcast.
Shout out to them.
Our buddy Brian and Patrick. So Brian says, well, I mean, this was probably one of the hardest years I've had in a long time. If I had to rate it out of 10, I'd give it a 3. Never thought I would be out of a job for so long, but I'm glad that I had friends and family to support me. Of
Dude.
course, Brian. Of course.
We
All of the babes, all of the aw babes.
trust me,
too.
Alex and I had conversations about how we could.
Like, we wanted to do so much for you, bro. Like,
Yeah, but we're 3,000 miles
it's
away.
just so difficult when you're that far away. But just being able to game with you and be open to text and call and we're always just we might be 3,000 miles away, but we're literally a phone call or a text away.
True. Technology is.
So, but no, I'm glad
nice
that to
thing.
see everything starting to turn around for you.
Very true.
I
Very
was
true.
so happy.
Yeah.
Let's see here. We've got Jersey Comic Crew podcast. They said they sent me a meme.
What'd they send you?
Of Buzz Lightyear
Yeah.
saying there seems to be no sign of intelligent life anywhere.
Interesting.
And they said null.
No. Wonder what they mean by that. Well, it has been a rough year for a lot of people that have been in I don't know, in bigger cities. I know that because it's a lot more expensive to live. The cost of living has gone up tremendously this year.
Ridiculous.
It is.
Let me double check.
I think one of the cats just ran downstairs.
Probably. I think that's all that I have. I just have to double check Twitter real quick, but I'm pretty sure we're good on those. On that there. Hold on. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Profile wrong. Profile. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Appreciate
I think,
y'all
looks like we're all good.
sending us the info of your year. We're gonna get into
Yes.
ours. We
yeah,
have
plug me, Josh. Patrick.
we have a good number of items to touch on. We concerts galore, traveling. We did so much. I mean, do you want to get into our favorite items of the year first, and then about our year?
I think we'll do the
year wrap up.
We'll do like a memorable moments. We'll do that since that's kind of like what we're talking about, to like how our year, like let's just go ahead and give our year a score since a lot of people are doing that. Let's give our year our personal score out of 10.
9.8.
I feel weird giving it a high score.
Yeah.
I feel weird giving it a high score.
There were
I
a
don't
lot
know
of-
if
there
I
were a
would
lot of
give it a 9
downsides to
point.
this
Yeah,
year.
because there's definitely, for a lot of the up, there is a lot of down.
But the up, I think for
the
me,
up this year definitely trumped the low, which is very odd. Like I don't want to be like sound like we're just we just have shit years all the time, but we really do. When it rains, it pours on our lives. That's for sure. But there's just this year's been very odd.
I don't know how next year can top it or be just as good.
I know, so it's like I don't want to give it a 9.8. To tell you the truth,
I had it as 9.5.
I don't want to even do that. Like I'm scared to, so I'm just gonna go with a 9 out of 10. It's fun.
I'm okay.
I'll
with
give
that.
it a B.
9 is an A minus.
Okay, I'll give it an A minus. I give it an A minus. I give it an A minus. You know what? And people need positivity in their lives and need to hear about it. So, I'm not one to brag, but it was a decent year. It's almost cry worthy, like just because of experiences and a lot of things that happened this year. And I cannot believe, God dang it, I might do a 9.5. Let's just go through it and then I'll give my total at the end. How about that?
So we have to run down on a lot of things that did happen. It's going to seem a little boring, but they were huge events.
They were
for us.
It's kind of like almost like a podcast in review, because we talked about
every single one of these items.
Most of these, if not all of these, throughout the year. But just to kind of bring you back to January of 2024, there's things that I'm like, oh my God,
we went to our first EDM concert of the year. Right down the street.
I didn't even write that one down.
The artist was called Liquid Stranger.
That's right. Yeah, and it was fun.
It's very fun to see.
Mm-hmm.
They're not necessarily like top of the list, but that's really a good opener of the year.
Yeah.
And then we saw From Ashes to New for like the 5th time. You don't have that written down. We met them again. We talked to them about Severance because there was the trailer for season 2 came out.
I don't even have the boys written down.
We went and saw From Ashes to New again.
I'm sorry. We saw them. We met them. We talked to them. Well, met them. We hung out.
We hung out.
We hung out.
They
caught
know
up a little
you
bit.
very well.
I know. I'm talking to them on
Instagram all the
Instagram
time.
all the time.
The eclipse of 2024.
Yeah, that's one that I went, wow, that was this year?
Yeah, we went and saw 100% totality for almost 3 minutes.
Longer. That it was 3 times. About 3 times longer than we saw it the first time.
Over 3 minutes, I should say.
Yeah, it was over. It was almost 4 minutes. We got to walk around, just like talking to each other.
When's it
gonna? There wasn't like, oh my God, we have to take pictures because there's not enough time. It was like wow, we could take pictures for the first minute and then just sit there for the next 2.5 and just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Not nearly as creepy as the first time because we've seen it before, but still such the oddest experience. And I'm just so glad that your parents were able to drive 1,000 miles over here to see it with us. And then we
took your
grandma. We also took my grandmother,
who will probably never see an eclipse
never seen an eclipse
again.
in her life, and yes, will not see another one unless
she's international somewhere.
Yeah.
She will not see one in her lifetime.
Yeah, she's in her 80s. So
Yeah.
the fact that she was able to see one for the first time with us too,
We almost blinded her.
I said, "Look, Grandma." She's like,
she took her glasses
off.
off.
No, not yet. She's the one that has eye problems. But yeah, she had nobody to take her, and I'm like, oh, we're going. So we just last minute hopped her in the van.
We did our first 3-day convention, and I want you to talk about that. Indie PopCon.
Indie PopCon this year. So as everybody knows, I've been really trying to improve on cosplay, and to be honest, I really don't know how I'm gonna top Lady Pyramid Head. I really don't. It is difficult.
You have peaked.
But
at your mid level, you have peaked. You have to go up.
I know, but it's trying to find the next project to start.
Yeah.
Like I think it's just still because Lady Pyramid Head still is not shelved yet.
No, it's all
she's going to C2E2 in Chicago next year.
Right here.
Yep, so the knife is behind us right now.
Yeah, she's going to Chicago in April.
So, and after that, I think she might April, I believe. So after that, she might be shelved for a little bit.
Well, you have to for the next convention.
But it's just there's so much attention to it, and I spent the most amount of time, the most money, like everything, like all the skills that I have learned, plus new skills. Like, I mean, this is like my baby. And the sad part about the entire thing is I've never touched the fucking video game. Ever. I have watched clips of Crystal playing. I've watched clips of Jake playing. I've watched clips of I think Brian playing. Will I ever play it? I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know. I enjoyed the movie quite a bit. But I have never touched the fucking video game, okay? I'm obsessed with the character Pyramid Head. I think he's so incredibly cool and mysterious, and that's where the inspiration really came from. And I was like, you know what? I saw somebody I was flipping through Instagram and I saw somebody did a Lady Pyramid Head, or like I don't want to sound conceited, but I'm going to because I went viral, so I'm allowed to. But I saw one, and
how many views were you at?
Last time I checked, I was at like 18.5 million views
on
YouTube.
That's crazy.
But
congrats on that. You went viral.
I did. I'm not a millionaire, by the way. I didn't see a cent from it. That's not how it works. But yes, I did go viral. That was the other big thing that happened this year. What was I going to say? So the inspiration was literally, you can see it in my phone. All my cosplays and my inspirations start with a screenshot.
They do.
And then another screenshot, and then another screenshot. And then it literally just festers until like I start dreaming about it and I go, I can do that. Oh, I can really do that. And then there's not been anything in my head about this project that I didn't do. Like, I made sure every time I put it on and I got to a stage where I thought it was complete, it wasn't complete.
No.
There's so much that I can go through, but I'm not going to talk about it anymore.
Congratulations on the win.
Yeah, so I won I got first place at Indie PopCon in the intermediate category. I could have competed in the Masters,
and you probably might have placed. But
I probably
don't think
would
have gotten first.
I probably wouldn't have, but I will tell you that with the competition, the only reason I would not be able to go into Masters is because I had never won. There's certain things that criteria.
You're still intermediate. You're gonna be an
I'm
intermediate
still considered an intermediate, and I'm not, and I'm no way a professional.
It's called Masters.
But yeah, I'm not a master cosplayer, that's for sure. But anyway, so I won that. I won a bunch of money. Yeah. I won a piece of paper that said that I won. Mm-hmm. And yeah, we celebrated. I got a lot of attention. I couldn't walk 2 freaking inches. I couldn't walk an inch. I hate like talking myself up and shit, but there it is. This con that we went to had Elijah Wood, and the only way to describe how popular I was there was a line for Elijah Wood, right? He was the most popular celebrity there. I had more people lining up to take my picture and my autograph than Elijah would. And that's far from, like, that's 100%
You were a
true.
celebrity in your
I
own
was
right.
a celebrity. Like, it was weird.
What was weird is we walked around the next day and we're like, nobody knows.
I was like, nobody knows. Like, I walked around and I didn't have my cosplay on because nobody can see my
You were
face.
just in
And
a
I was
regular
like,
t-shirt.
I was like in
and-
regular t- I was like, I'm just a normal person today. Nobody knows who I am. But, you know, you put the damn pyramid head thing on. I could not take a
couldn't
break.
move.
I couldn't take a break.
You're sweating.
I sat down to get off the damn heels and like to take the helmet off because I was sweating. And I took the helmet off for 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes, and I had a line of people. Hey, can I take your picture when you get a second? I'm like, I guess I'll put it back on. Like, and it was just so many kids. Everybody was just like inspired by it, loved it, and I just thank everybody so much
Good
because
support.
I put so much work into this shit, and I
Yeah.
love it. I look at it. I kiss the helmet sometimes. I say it's my baby. I pick up my knife and I'm
Yep.
like, I can't believe I made this.
Yep.
I thank my brother through the roof for helping me out with math.
He's good on math. Yep.
Because a lot of it was geometry, and bringing that shit back up from elementary school was not fun.
Elementary.
And,
middle.
or whatever. But yeah, that's probably one of the biggest highlights of my year is doing the best cosplay project I've ever done in my entire life. And it's still not shelved. It's still ready and
Mhm.
does not have dust on it yet. It's ready to go out for another thing.
Yep.
But yeah, so there's that.
Next on my list, we had Brett retired from the podcast officially and got married, and we also helped him move.
Yeah.
So we had a lot going on with Brett all within like a 1 month span where he
I still
retired
can't
from the
believe this
show.
year was Brett's wedding.
Yeah, that too.
Like,
That happened too. That
it's
happened
still
too.
like, wow, that was this year?
Right, exactly. We took a few trips. We did a trip to one of our favorite theme parks, Cedar Point, just you and me. That was one of the best things ever because it was just you and me where we didn't have to haul around. I mean, it's always great to go with friends. Don't get me wrong. Friends
But
and
you and
family,
I,
but just you and me,
so
we can do our
I think
own
a lot of
thing.
it that started it this year was this the trip to Cedar Point. Like, you and I usually go on trips and we bring people.
Always.
Whether it's my mom, whether it's my brother, whether it's friends, like, we always bring someone along. And I'm like, you know, we never just go and do these things by ourselves. Like, why don't we just like be a couple and go do couples things? We always have to bring somebody. So how we started it off was we're going to go to Cedar Point for 2 days. Well,
Yep.
it was like 2.5 days, but
Yeah.
that was fun.
Yeah. And then we did a trip to a few beach trips, and we took a trip up to northern Michigan. I learned how to Dutch braid within that time
You
frame.
did. You learned how to Dutch braid. That's a highlight.
It
Josh
is.
learned how to Dutch braid my
I
hair.
braided your hair when we went to Cedar Point, so that was me.
Mhm.
We went to the dunes, which we've never been to.
Yep.
So we had our
And
first
then the
experience there.
upper Michigan, we went to like, it's called like the Bahamas of Michigan or something.
I
I
still
can't-
don't remember the lake.
I don't remember the lake, but it's like crystal clear. There's no lake life, or what do you want to call it?
No aquatic life.
No aquatic life can
Yeah.
live in
In-
there.
Yeah.
I don't remember why.
It's
It's like
essentially a giant puddle.
yeah, it's like a clear, crystal clear water. Like,
Yeah.
it's really pretty.
Yeah.
So we went up there.
Boats can go across it, so it's not like it's got shallow. It's got shallow depth.
really
but
shallow.
It does have some
depth
deep
to it.
waters. We whipped out Pyramid Head in the middle of summer and went to Days of the Dead
We
con,
did,
and you won runner up.
and we went to the Murder Hotel.
Oh my God, the worst experience in a hotel ever. We're not gonna recap that.
No, we're not gonna
was
recap
just
that,
bad.
but we went to a murder hotel
And now we know what
and we're
to
alive.
look at in hotels before we stay.
Hell yeah, we've
Alex
learned.
does her research.
We have learned.
Yep, we learned the hard way. We took a trip again to Ohio and went to our first wrestling live event, SummerSlam.
Yeah, we went to see SummerSlam, and
Yep.
that was fun. We had to go to the
And-
Cleveland Browns stadium for the first time,
Yeah,
and didn't even
yes.
see a Cleveland Browns game.
To wrap up our summer, we went to New York City. We got great pizza, got to meet Arrow.
Got to ride in a New York cab.
There's no other reason why we went to New York, right?
No,
No,
we decided 9 days before we
No.
were gonna go that we were just gonna like,
no reason.
hey, you want to go to New York City? And we said yeah, and asked time off, And
just for no reason
just for
at
no
all,
reason
just
at
to
all. We booked a
go.
hotel and everything before we even got our time approved. And
But no, for real. The biggest hiatus comeback of all time in our relationship that we never expected. Linkin Park came back with a huge bang. In our opinion, we are 100% like on board with the new singer. We enjoy the new album to a T. We have no gripes about the album. 7-year hiatus, and Linkin Park came back, and we went and saw them live in New
their
York.
second
Their
United States
tour
show
date,
in
yes.
7 years.
Yep, and we got memorabilia for it. We
Mhm.
got to experience it with everybody who was there was a Linkin Park
It was
fan.
probably the best concert I've ever been to,
It was,
as far as the experience
which
goes.
is
It's-
wild because we still had 4 months left of the year. We're like, what are we going to do for anniversaries and
Yeah.
birthdays and Christmas gifts?
But
Because this was like
this was the most spontaneous trip we've ever taken
and
in our
probably
lives.
one of the best spontaneous trips we've ever
Yeah.
done. Like
It
fast.
was, yeah, like 9 out of 10 as far as
We have the best
nothing going wrong.
employers because they allowed
We do.
us to take
Thank
this
you so
time
much
off.
for my job.
Mine too. Very thankful.
Like,
Very
I would
thankful.
not have been able to do this at my last job.
And
I would not have.
So we got to see the new singer, new drummer perform. We got to see Grandson, who opened for them.
Mhm.
It was a it was a great concert.
We got
so
to see our song played live
first time ever.
for the first time ever.
Yeah, we were in tears for probably like 90%
It was
of the
it was
concert.
singing, it was headbanging, it was
Therapeutic.
moving. It was such a therapeutic
Mhm.
concert. It was it was amazing. And then right after the concert, we get the album released, and it was a solid 10 out of 10. So
Yep. I have no gripes about it, and I listened to it. It's my diary. You said it first.
Yep.
So right after that, we saw The Used.
God, I don't even have that written down.
We saw The Used.
We even saw the Used, and that
Plain
was
white tees.
They always. I will tell you what. If you've never seen the Used and you're a fan of the Used, like even
Yeah.
if you're a fan of not the Used like now, and you were a fan of the Used back in like the early 2000s, fucking go see the Used.
They're
They
great.
put on an amazing show.
Just expect them to
single
flip
time.
off the crowd all the
Oh,
time.
yeah.
And
That's
they
normal.
have- They say things to obviously troll the crowd.
When they want you to flip them off back. By the way, that means I love you.
Mhm.
So just know that when you go, there's a lot of middle fingers in the air.
And a lot of people weren't understanding it.
I know.
Congratulations to my sister for becoming a second mother at 41. My niece was born right after we saw The Used, like 2 days after. My niece Jovi was welcomed into the world, so we got to
Jovi.
hold her as we were in South Dakota. So we were very thankful to see her, and that my sister had a healthy baby.
Mhm.
We also got to see a meteor shower live
We did
and the Northern Lights twice.
in
So,
Indiana.
Yeah. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. We did the zombie walk at Fright Night. You did the zombie walk. I helped you and
You
did a
helped
lot
me.
of photos and videos. You got to walk around in the
I basically became a local
Pyramid Head
celebrity
again.
for Pyramid
local
Head.
celebrity. Yep. You made a lot of people happy on that.
I did. I
You
have
still
a
have
lot.
yet. You have
lot of
to.
kids.
You have to post your Lara Croft photo.
I have so much.
I told you to do that back
I
then.
have, I have a lot of goals that I have not completed. So.
We got to visit Nashville. Great food.
Yeah, definitely going back to Nashville.
Nashville is actually going to be probably another destination of ours next year.
Yep.
We're
Going
looking
to
into it.
Nashville.
We're
That's
looking
for
into it
sure.
probably it's about an 85% chance. Probably next August. So yeah, we got to try some donuts and flights, mimosas. That was really interesting experience. We got to try Nashville hot chicken.
Amazing.
But there was something else we did there, right?
Nope.
We got to see the Vikings.
We got to
play-
see the Vikings win.
We got to see the Vikings win. We got to see them play against the Titans.
We got to go to a Vikings game that looked like a home game.
It was awesome. It was
98%
amazing.
Vikings fans in the stadium from all over.
I
It
don't
was
think
amazing.
I don't think the adrenaline came
was going
down
from
for
a-
me for like
big
3
family.
days. I was beat for like 4 days after. I was like, I could not come down
Yeah.
from that.
It was so awesome. Yeah.
To cap off the year, in my notes here, we went and saw my family in South Dakota, which was a blast. Of course, we already reviewed that. And for New Year's Eve, you and I are going to go see Brett in Ohio.
actually.
We're gonna go celebrate New Year's Eve with him and his wife.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be fun.
Yeah, and that's how we're gonna end the year.
That is how we're gonna end the year. Do you have anything else written down in your notes?
I mean, I started my job back up at the vet.
You did go back.
I did go back, but I'm back and I'm not back. I'm just like
So you're like John Wick, and right at the beginning, I'm not back.
I'm not back.
I'm thinking I'm back.
I'm thinking, so, but no, I'm helping them out for a few hours a week.
You have a very limited schedule.
I have a very limited schedule.
Availability.
Yes. I've decided to help them out, and also like, so I get to go back to doing something that yes I do love doing, and then I also get to go back and I'm teaching. Which is something I also love doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got to do that, which is fun.
We do have to go over our notable items of the year: favorite video game, movie, and TV show. Still, just FYI.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was looking.
Pixel did win.
Pixel win his first race.
His first
wiener dog race this year.
Did really
he didn't
good.
win the entire thing, but he did win a race.
Had he gone a split second faster, he would have won the whole dachshund race.
Yep.
Because the person he lost to won.
Was the winner.
And he was right behind them by a nose. It was probably the most intense race of the entire time.
You learned how to make orange chicken.
I did.
I know that's like
I'm getting better at cooking.
You are. You're getting much better at cooking.
My skills on The Sims.
I know. So every single time, that is like the one thing. So all right. So how I see myself, because I played The Sims so much.
Yeah.
How I see whenever you make a really good dish for the first time, I see the little green bar above your head go up a little bit in my head, and then every time I do something mechanic around the house, I see my mechanic bar go up a little bit in my head. That's just how I see it. It's really funny. I replaced a sink for the first time, so that was this year.
That was a good hardware moment of yours that you just did on your own. On your own. I mean, you had a little bit of like help with a plumber telling you what was wrong, but
he just told me what was wrong, and then I fixed it.
Yeah.
Really, the only other thing that I have on here, that's significant that will be with me for the rest of my life is that I got an ass tattoo.
You did.
I did.
You got 2 tattoos in a year.
I did?
No. Your ankle was done in March.
My ankle was done in 2023 in October.
No, it wasn't. It was done in the spring because that's when you were supposed to get it done.
No.
I thought so.
Nope.
Crystal says next time we visit Josh, he's gonna have to make orange chicken.
It's good. He real good.
It's a little. I'm still getting the.
It could
dryness.
be. Yes, it could be a little bit more juicy, but that's
because
just.
I don't think it's cooked enough because it's not golden brown as far as when I put the chicken in. But
we've never seen it. No, sorry. Nope, not on the show.
What?
Crystal wants me to show my tattoo.
Oh.
No, my best friend and I decided, like, it was like actually like a year and a half, 2 years before we actually got the tattoo. We even put our deposit down and everything. And unfortunately, like a month prior to our tattoo, someone was horrible and threw a Molotov into the tattoo shop and burned it to the ground.
I could have swore you got it.
No, it was between jobs.
Oh.
It was right after I left the vet clinic and right before I started the job that I have now.
That's how long this year has been.
Yeah, I know. I got it in the beginning of October, end of September of 2023 on my ankle.
And I'm wondering if there's something else we're missing because, like, I mean, March was pretty quiet as far as a month. I mean, April was when all the big stuff started, and then May was the start of all of our travels.
Mm-hmm. I will say I forgot the other day I was in the mirror and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I was like, what is on my butt? Oh, I was like, oh look, a sticker.
Yeah.
A permanent sticker is on my butt and it's the size of it's bigger than my hand.
What is your movie of the year?
My movie of the year. So
I had 2 written down, but I deleted the other one. I don't remember what it was. Oh no, I do. So one of them for me is you have 3 though, right?
I do.
So I'll go in between yours. What's your first one?
Number 1 is Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah, that one I knew was going to be on your list. I didn't even put it on my list because I knew you were going to
nothing
mention
is touching that.
That would be my third one then, because we did see that twice, and I enjoyed every single
I wish
minute
that I
of that
could
movie.
erase me ever watching it to re-experience it again.
I'm surprised we haven't bought it yet.
I know. It's so hard to buy a movie these days just because everything's so, like,
it's so
digital. So,
yeah.
But no, Deadpool and Wolverine, 11 out of 10, 12 out of 10, like, best movie of 2024 in my opinion.
One of mine, I know it came out last year, but
Killer Clowns
we
from
saw
Outer
it
Space.
this year. Actually, I think both of mine came out last year, but we saw them this year. One of them I was super obsessed with, Late Night with the Devil.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I want to show my dad that movie so bad now.
Yeah.
So when
I
he's
think he'd
here,
like it.
well, my mom's going to be here.
Your mom will be here.
Shoot.
Maybe after she goes to sleep.
We'll
Just
They're
make
not
her.
staying
We'll
here.
make her go to sleep early.
Well, maybe there'll be a night where she stays at the hotel or something, and we can watch a horror movie.
Yeah.
She's not a horror buff at all. My dad,
Yeah.
he likes.
We showed him
likes
it
them.
this year.
Chapter 1.
Yeah, chapter 1. And he
liked
really
it.
liked that.
So
yeah.
eventually we gotta show him chapter 2. But anyways, what's your next one?
So second to that is going to be Bad Boys Ride or Die.
That was so good.
I was not ever expecting to ever watch that movie. And that was like an unexpected, holy shit, this movie is amazing.
Which is funny. We went to the drive-in, got those two movies back to back. We said Bad Boys came on, and if it sucks,
at
we're
any
out.
point, we were just going to leave.
I
And
was
we
entertained
stayed
the whole
until the
time.
very end of the credits. We were like, wow, this is a great fucking movie. Like,
that was my first
movie.
first Will Smith movie I had watched in a minute because, I haven't supported him since his outburst. But like I just haven't been able to watch him on screen. Wild Wild West, I watched this year with you. We bought that movie on sale.
Yeah.
Digitally, might I add. And then we saw this movie and I enjoyed it.
It's such a great movie.
I enjoyed it.
Like, it's a great movie if you are a fan of, especially like just the first two Bad Boys.
Yeah. It's better. Like 3 is
kind of a throwaway.
Mm-hmm.
But 4 is like, it's hard
It's
to,
so
it's
good.
so difficult to like it. I mean, it's right up there with 1 and 2. It's so good.
And then another movie of mine, I know it came out last year, but again, we saw it this year, Godzilla -1. That was really good. In fact, I've been wanting to watch it again because we kept on pausing it.
Mhm.
So if we could watch it all the way through, I think that would be even better. I would have liked to have seen it when it was back in theaters in black and white. That'd have been fun to see.
Mhm.
I think it was black and white, but I know when they brought it back into theaters. But I would have loved to have watched that in theaters.
I have 2 honorable mentions. We don't have to deep dive into them, but honorable because I saw them on the list and I was like, I thoroughly enjoyed both of these movies.
Okay, which one?
Long Legs.
That one was weird.
It was really weird, but it was weird enough to get stuck in my head and be like, oh my God, this is a great movie. So Long Legs was on there. We don't have to get into it.
I don't
And
remember
Abigail.
what I thought of Long Legs. I didn't enjoy Abigail as much as I wanted.
I know that you didn't. I don't know. I really liked it. Like, I really liked
I
Abigail.
think I could get behind the weirdness of Megan, but I couldn't
See,
get behind the weirdness of Abigail.
I'm the opposite.
You wanted serious with Megan?
I didn't enjoy Megan as much as you did.
I can't wait for the sequel.
I'm still gonna see it,
Yeah.
but the FBI chick still pisses me off. Okay, that's all I have for movies.
Okay. TV show. I think I only have one.
I have one.
Fallout.
I went through the list and I'm like,
I have not recommended a show enough though.
Like
to anyone who hasn't seen it, who knows the environment.
They're like it gives video game adaptations hope. Like
yes,
like other than like there's definitely some nitpicky things about it. And I've never played Fallout.
Oh, the plot armor.
But
the plot armor the whole time.
I know.
But then again, she could have high charisma and high everything. Like her stats could be high.
I know you've played Fallout. I know our friends have played Fallout, some of it. And then my brother, other than Silent Hill, that's like his second favorite game of all time, is Fallout. And he gives it like a 9 out of 10. Like, just loves it. So, and the ending and where we're going with Fallout, he's over the moon for. Not to give spoilers.
You know, I really thoroughly enjoyed Fallout. We went back and watched it a couple episodes. I remember he's joking.
Oh, because didn't he watch it?
He started it. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, and I enjoyed Fallout. It was fun to watch. I can't wait for the
I
sequel,
want to rewatch it. Like, it was so
second
good.
Season. But then again, you and I also went back and watched Severance again. So we're vamping up.
I was trying to see when Severance came out. And I'm like, okay, was it technically like this year? So I can't put it on there.
No,
but yeah,
Severance
so I
came out years ago.
I know. We watched it late.
Yeah, we did. I'm happy we also watched it late because now
the only
we
other
haven't had to wait.
TV show or thing that we watched, I mean, it's nowhere near like a 10 out of 10, but it's our entertainment, and we're watching The Floor.
Well, Lego Masters is also on there.
But I looked up, Lego Masters has not had a 2024 season. They ended in 23.
They have a holiday season going on right now that we're not watching.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. They had like a holiday episode or something.
Okay, well,
Couple
either
of
way, that would be on.
It's
my
not a big
list.
deal. We don't watch those. We watch the actual
But the
season.
actual like show, yeah, there's only one. I went through the list. I was like, oh my god, no, Fallout, 100%.
There's only a couple of games that came out this year too.
Fallout is also like, it was such an easy show to get into. Like if you absolutely had never known anything about the video game, like I knew like the basics, but even for somebody like, you know, you take my mom or something, you're like, hey, I'm sure the audience is gamers and non-gamers. Like it's such an easy show to get attached to and just addicted to.
I agree. They
did a very good job.
It's very good. Not a lot of games came out that we bought that we can like attest to were amazing. Like I did buy Hypercharge Unboxed. That unfortunately was like, nah. I know Call of Duty came out. Is that your game of the year?
No.
Okay. What's your game? I have one.
The only one that I have not had any gripes about is Mario Party Jamboree.
That's my game too.
Like Call of Duty is like, yeah, of course it's going to be up there as like, to be honest, like
fun. For
the very first time ever, like Nintendo is taking over my...
You are enjoying Mario Party
Jamboree. I am more like, I mean, Call of Duty, it's a great game. It really is. But Call of Duty always has the same issues. Like you always get the people that hack it. You always like, there's always like little things here and there. And I'm not saying Call of Duty was bad this year. It's actually really good. Black Ops 6 is what we're talking about.
Yes.
It's good and I really enjoy it. But the game that like, I've never enjoyed a Mario Party more than this one.
I'm surprised. Actually.
Like I've like
thoroughly.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
It is my game of the year.
It's a very, very good game.
You and I have played it against
I
my
have
siblings.
nothing wrong with it.
We play it against each other. We have fun with it.
Yeah, it is 10 out of 10. Like
Call
of Duty, I give it like a 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
But Mario Party Jamboree, Jamboree is a 10 out of 10 for me.
I'm honestly surprised.
I know.
And we have yet to play it online.
My runner-up was Pal World.
Pal World, was that this year?
I think so.
Was that last spring?
I want to say it came out this year. It was like earlier in the year.
It went to Game Pass right away, so we didn't have to buy it, right?
We played like we played a bunch of it, and then it was one of those games that we fell off. But it's also been one of those games where I'm like, man, I'd like to play Pal World again.
But the problem is they changed the gameplay on it because of the lawsuit, and I am not happy with Nintendo on that.
But for all of us to play it and then just get lost in the game, like those are the games that that's why it's on my list as a runner-up.
Yeah.
It's like it was a game we were easily able to get lost in with our friends. Like just, oh wow, we've been playing for so long, I don't want to get off. Like
right.
It was one of those games.
Yeah. It was a very, it's kind of like those. So we can play Borderlands. You know, we'll go back to it here eventually, and that is what I would consider a relaxing action game. Mm-hmm. Pal World is just a relaxing.
It's just a relaxing, do whatever you want game.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So that is pretty much, I think, it in our year in review.
I think so.
We had a very, very crazy year.
I mean, we possibly saw a UFO.
There is that because there's the imagery that you did post on your.
I did. We never actually talked about it because
we don't know.
We don't really know what we saw, but it was like we
didn't want to seem crazy.
We didn't want to seem crazy, but I'm like, well, shit. Well, now that there's millions of people right now just posting shit.
But
I mean,
we're in the Midwest.
You cannot turn on the fucking news right now and not see a video, another video of a UFO.
No.
Sorry, they're not UFOs. They're UAPs now.
And they're drones. And
then like there's drones, but the crazy. So the drones I get, but like the things that we saw. So Josh and I saw one of these like plasma things that what people are talking about.
Yeah, this is what other people are talking about.
Because like we saw a video, like a handful of videos of people zooming in, and I was like, babe, I'm pretty sure this is exactly what we saw when we saw the Northern Lights back in October. And he's like, what? So I zoomed in on the picture and I was like, see, it looks exactly the same. And it was very, 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 very odd. I posted a few pictures on my Facebook, but it was like, it didn't make any noise. It was too low to be a plane. There was no metal, like no like actual shape to it other than like the only way to describe it was like a glowing orb. And it was moving slow, but then it would change speeds a little bit. And then we saw a helicopter in the distance. And as soon as we saw the helicopter and we looked over, the damn orb was gone.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
We got pictures of it. It's weird. There's something glowing in the middle, not like lights, like spotlights and flickering. Like it looks like a damn
Looked like a fireball.
mitochondria.
Yeah.
Like everybody knows what the mighty mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell, looks like.
Yeah.
It looked like that in the middle. It was so weird.
Right.
So, but anyways, we may or may not have seen some type of weird UFO thingy.
We're not sure. Weird.
I did not mark that off on my 2024 bingo card.
We had a bingo card list starting. That's why we have such a list.
We should make a 2025 bingo card. We really should for the podcast. Like things that we think. I think we even talked about it maybe even last year making a 2024. We really should and just put crazy shit on there for 2025 and actually see how much of it becomes true.
That's not a bad idea.
Because right now we possibly might have an alien invasion. Who knows? And that's gonna go on my 25 bingo card.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not a bad thing. That's not a bad idea. I think we could probably find a way to do it physically on the podcast on like show it up on the screen and stuff.
Check mark that off.
Do like a bingo graph and start typing stuff in.
Right.
That's not a bad idea. Maybe I can get that to work.
Have people put suggestions like our top fans?
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
That is a great idea, actually.
We'll
give you a shout out if it happens, kind of thing.
What is an item on your 2025 bingo card? That's actually
your crazy 2025 bingo card.
What is a crazy item you'd put on your 2025 bingo?
Yeah, that can be like our next fan topic.
That's not a bad idea.
Fan question. There you go.
Yep. I do have a quick topic to bring up before we get out of here and do our plugs and all that stuff. This just popped up right before our show, and this is probably the most unfortunate. It's a very unfortunate timing for especially the holidays. Party City closed its doors today.
You're not talking about Big Lots. You're talking about Party City?
I'm talking about Party City.
Like the place I shop at?
CNN just did a report.
Why?
Here it is. Party City closed its doors today. Employees told that today was their last day of employment. CEO Barry Litwin told corporate employees Friday in a meeting viewed by CNN that Party City is winding down operations immediately and that today will be their last day of employment. Staff were told they will not receive severance pay, and they were told their benefits would end as the company goes out of business.
Does that include every single location on the planet?
Every Party City. Closed today.
What the hell?
Yep.
Okay. So there's some news for you. Was not expecting that.
How many locations?
I know that locally we were closing down our Big Lots, which I was like, damn, we don't shop there anymore, but I can see why it's closing. It's kind of like a Kmart thing closing. Like, it's weird.
Yeah, what is this? Hold on, there's more to this article. Also on Friday, some of Party City's store employees received letters that the company would close down on February 28th. So they already knew it was going to happen eventually. Although Party City believes these closings are in the best interest of the company, we regret that we have had to take this step, and thank you for your valued contribution.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, no more Party City. So I guess whenever we have to go find Halloween costumes, it's literally going to be like Walmart and Spirit.
Spencer's, maybe.
Well, maybe, but they're always... they don't really have, like, actual...
City was where we went for your Freddy Krueger outfit, didn't it? Oh, they were out by the time we could get it.
Yeah. They don't...
But we could have had
They have,
it.
like, limited supplies at Spencer's for that type of thing.
You mean
they're more
Party
like
City?
No, at Party. Well, no, they have a large stock, but we just went later. But I'm talking about like Spencer's.
I think we were there like the week before Halloween, and
and it was sold out. And I was like, how the hell is this place going out of business when people are buying things off the shelf? So I don't know. That's odd.
It really is. Maybe there's something up with the CEO. CEOs are...
Yeah, we don't want to be talking about that right now.
That's another thing. Gosh. 2024 has been crazy, guys. We cannot state that enough. There was an election this year. We have drones in the sky. CEOs are they're going away.
At the beginning of the year, we had in Florida, we had the possible alien sighting.
Where all the police showed up.
Every single
was
cop,
that this year?
Yes, it was January. Every single cop in like Miami, wherever city it was called out. There were black helicopters. We talked about it on the podcast.
I barely remember that because this has been a very
and
long
all
year,
they said.
Obviously.
The reason they gave the explanation was there were a couple of kids with possible
sticks
weapons at the mall.
Didn't they say sticks?
I don't remember.
Swinging clubs or something?
There were a couple of kids in the mall with weapons. That is a load of bullshit. There was like hundreds of cops. Everything from a squad car to the fucking FBI, state trooper, black helicopters.
Yeah.
People were not allowed to leave the mall without their phones being erased. Like, are you kidding me?
I don't know what to think.
That's bullshit. I'm calling it. It's bullshit. There were something they weren't supposed to see, something that wasn't supposed to happen.
Stories,
we don't know.
The stories that you hear, though, is so weird.
Just like the fucking drones. They said, we don't know what they are, but if you shoot one down or shoot at it, it's a $250,000 fine and a minimum of 5 years in jail.
Crazy.
But what if it's
What if
but we're not getting any answers. Literally,
right.
The governor of New York and New Jersey
yeah.
are asking the government what the fuck these things are and if they're ours or what they are, and they're like, we don't know, but just don't touch it.
It's weird. It's crazy.
That's how we're ending 2024, guys. Drones and plasmoids in the air.
When is our next show, by the way? We should look at our calendar. Next show will be the second week in January, I think. Looks like the 7th.
Oh, I think I'm in the wrong year.
Wait, what? Did you go backwards?
I think I did.
I don't know.
2023.
We're in 2024.
Where am I? Is that 24? Let me see your calendar. I don't know what year I'm in. It doesn't say it at the top.
Here it is.
Yeah, I'm in the wrong year.
Go the other direction. Other direction.
Oh, it's 22. Okay.
Alex is lost on her.
I'm lost because I was trying to look at shit. All right, now October, November, December, January 25. There we are.
Probably the 7th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that's gonna be my guess. Is that we're gonna be doing it on the 7th, January 7th.
I'll see you on the 7th at 7.
7th at 7.
7th at 7 it is. For somebody. Well, it's a really good movie. But we should get out of here. You want to do your plugs?
Yeah. If you'd like to watch me play video games, it is twitch.tv/cute_kitty, KUTE_KITTI. I go live on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday evenings. Honestly, as far as I know, the rest of the year should be on schedule because we're done. We're done traveling. We're done traveling for a bit. Unless, I become extremely sick again, like I was.
Yeah.
I should be back on schedule.
You're going to be on tonight, though.
I will be on tonight. Tonight is Friday. I have to remind myself that it is Friday. I will be on, and holy shit, not that long from now. I'll probably be on in like an hour. To be honest,
about an hour.
So I'm going to be starting the stream a bit late tonight, just because the podcast went long.
Yeah.
And we're going to probably be playing some party animals with the squad. So it should be a great time. So make sure you guys check it out. Sometime between 10:30 and 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when we'll do gameplay.
Yep. As far as my stream goes, it's twitch.tv/Mr. L. That's MISTER, capital L. You can follow me there. I'll be live Thursday and Saturday morning. I can't say for sure what I'm playing tomorrow yet. Maybe Fortnite? I don't know. Haven't really decided on that. I have about 12 hours to decide, so make sure you're following me there. And then also, as far as our podcast goes, we'd like it if you guys hit the like button on this video if you have not. And then also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button and hit the bell to be notified for when we're live. And that will be on Tuesday, January 7th, will be our next show. So make sure you guys are following us. And then if you want to follow us on our social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter/X, you can follow us PTOUnlimited, PTOUnlimited_podcast on Instagram. Appreciate those that have followed us. And then also, make sure you guys are checking out our merch. I don't think there's a whole lot going on with that right now just yet, but there's always stuff to check out. And then I think that's pretty much it. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it is @_Mr. L.
Cute_kitty.
Yeah. On a final note, make sure if you guys celebrate the holidays, you have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a Happy New Year. If you are out traveling, travel safe. The weather gets crazy this time of year. No matter where you're at, almost sometimes it just pop up. There's a tornado in California.
Yeah, there
last
was.
week. How crazy is that?
There's fog across the United States, and for thousands of miles. And there was a tornado in San Francisco.
Yep.
Well, around San Francisco.
The Bay Area.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff,
Crazy
guys.
shit.
Well, we're going to get out of here, guys. Appreciate y'all joining. Hope you guys had a good 2024. It's been a year for us. I'll tell you that. It's been a good one. I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Bye, guys. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.